Hi, Dad.
What's up?
How are you?
Feel better. I took a daytime pill earlier or yesterday, and then a nighttime, and I feel good. Told you it's just like a cold coming on.
That time of the month, huh?
You're an asshole.
What? I'm just asking. I know.
What did I just say?
I'm an asshole.
Pretty much.
It's not necessary. Listen, if you would have just, called me and asked, I could have came over and, tried to take care of you.
I'm fine. I'm an adult. I know what I can do.
Yeah, but wouldn't it, like, breakfast in bed
No.
would have been real nice this morning? Maybe a light massage.
I don't need your help. I'm an adult. I know when I'm starting to get a cold. I know what I got to do.
Well, but so you're feeling better, though.
Right.
So what'd you do today? Did you go to work?
Fuck yeah, I went to work.
But why did you say that so, like...
Sitting home, don't pay the bills.
Yeah? How was work?
Sucks like usual. Then I had to go to the dentist and pay him $450.
Jeez, well, what was that, just for the one tooth?
No. They took two out, made a partial, so it came like to $800 and some dollars.
I didn't know you had that many teeth still.
God, you're such an idiot.
Why?
Because what does it matter with it? You know who didn't have any teeth was your fucking mother.
Well, yeah. Well, what was that from?
You tell me.
I'm not sure. From what I remember, Mom was a saint.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You are a dumbass.
Why can't you just say anything nice? If you're not going to say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
Well, then don't be stupid. Then.
I'm not being stupid.
Yeah, you are. You know damn well why your mother lost all her teeth.
No, I don't.
Bullshit.
She liked candy.
What did she die of?
Depression. She was in a marriage for a long time.
Goodbye, Greg.
Dad, don't hang up. I'm kidding, Dad. Come on, I love you. Son of a bitch.
Initiating podcast download. Prepare yourself. Put on your spandex. Lace up your boots. Wrap your wrists. Hide your razor blade. Head to gorilla position. Grease up your hair. Apply baby oil. Okay, apply more baby oil. Get into gimmick. Keep your ears open and your mouth shut. Have fun and be safe out there, brother. Welcome to I'm on Wrestling. Now your host, Gregory Iron.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Iron on Wrestling with Gregory Iron. I'm your host, Gregory Iron. This is episode 102, and we have a fun-filled show for you today. We're going to have not one but two very special guests, and I can't wait to have them in studio. It's going to be my good friends, Hobo Joe and Rebis, and we're going to share a lot of great stories from our past. Probably going to get off on... Okay. All right. Not sure what this is. Yep, okay. Bring it down.
Pardon the interruption.
Hi.
Hi, Spot.
Yep.
Did you like it?
No. What
Why
was
not? Oh, the music?
Yeah.
Oh, that's uncopyrighted music
that? Okay, yeah.
from Mackhand.
Gotcha. All right. At least sticking with the theme so we don't get in trouble on YouTube. Appreciate that.
Hey, you made a request, and I'm abiding by it
Thank
because,
you.
well, I respect you, Booker Man.
Okay, well.
Oh, that's a couple episodes ago, right?
Yeah.
Number 100.
Yeah, which got a lot of downloads, actually, between YouTube and iTunes. People enjoyed the Brian Pillman Jr. episode. I think it probably helped that he was on Dark Side of the Ring that same week. Did you watch that? That was a pretty emotional episode.
Yeah. It was very emotional. Sorry, man.
What?
I watched it,
Yeah.
but it was late. I can't give you big details on it.
Yeah. Old man Aaron probably
Yeah.
fell asleep during it.
It was 10 after 9.
Yeah.
I don't know who calls people at that hour.
I can't do that. Yeah, that's uncalled for. Hey, before we get into everything today, because I feel like we're probably going to talk and tell a lot of stories with Hobo and Rebis for a extended period of time.
With Hobo and Rebis?
Yeah,
Them bitches are still alive?
I still tell people that Hobo Joe is dead all the time, and then people send me condolences every year when I post that.
We got to get into Zoom on this?
No,
Oh, they're calling in.
They're in studio.
Where are they? They're in studio?
Yeah,
Right now?
They might be. They're waiting in the back. So, but before we go into things, last week was your
I know
birthday.
Hobo Joe always like coming in the rear.
Okay, well,
He called it the Patterson position.
okay. Last week was your birthday, and
Have you ever been in the gorilla position, Greg?
let's just go to the birthday stuff.
Oh, yeah, it was
Yeah.
my birthday.
So, how did everything end up?
Oh, it was wonderful. Man, I've developed this great relationship with Bushwhacker Luke now.
Oh boy, well,
I cameo him, he cameos me.
real intimate.
Yeah.
One of our good Patreon
At least I'm of
subscribers-
age now.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. But Patreon subscriber Sam actually sent me a link a couple days ago and said, "Do with this what you will."
Yeah.
And it was a post that said, "Bushwhacker Luke from
Yeah.
his own Instagram is now available for a limited amount of podcasts."
Oh.
So I may or may not.
I'd love to get you on, get him on the show here.
Would you?
Yeah,
Maybe
I'll
he'll come
confront
to
his
the
ass
studio.
about grabbing mine when I was a 14-year-old boy.
Well, this is
I almost had a mustache.
Yeah, well, you could have had an alpaca sniff it for $5 if you did. But let me, our also Patreon buddy and friend of the show with his podcast, the 20 by 20 podcast, Peter. He actually sent
Maivia.
you. No, he's passed on a while back.
Oh, that's too bad. Too soon?
I don't know. I don't know. What point does it become too soon? That's a good question. Oh boy, I could hear our guests in the back.
What? They must be getting closer.
It must be getting closer. So, hey, I want to play real quick for you a special video that Peter had made for you. Belated, but I think you'll appreciate it. Are you ready?
Okay.
Hold on, let me pull it up for you here.
Well, hey there, partner.
Yeah!
Aaron. Hi, Aaron. If you don't know who I am, well, let me introduce myself. I am Jess Brawlin Barnes.
Look at that Tex ass.
Plus size knockout who loves to hit heavy. And I'm going to hit it heavy on you, partner, because it is your birthday. Well, belated birthday. Your cornerman, Mr. Peter, and your friends, Mel, Tom, Luke, Butch, Chris, and Peter want to wish you a happy belated birthday. And since it's a belated birthday, they owe you the size of Texas balloons and cake. Because what is a birthday without cake and balloons? Not a birthday at all there, partner. So, happy birthday, and pardon the interruption, but when balloons and cake present itself, well, who cares if they interrupt? I would say, how rude, but I'm for sure you appreciate the interruption. So, happy birthday, Mr. Aaron. And this birthday punch, because it's always brawling time, is brought to you by Peter, Mel, Luke, Chris, Butch, and Peter.
So Peter gets a shout out twice there at the end. I like how she was confused by the name Mel Hall and had to say it as two different names.
Yeah. Hall is a very prominent first name.
Yeah. So that was a belated gift from
That was
Pete.
wonderful. That was excellent. That was everything I could have ever wanted.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
And, boy, I love me some Brawlin' Jess Barnes.
Yep, still never going to have her as a guest on the show.
That's creative differences. But as soon as you die,
Yeah.
as soon as you die and I get me a new co-host.
Yeah. Are you gonna know how to work the equipment?
Oh, what?
Yeah. You know how to edit the podcast?
I've had plenty of practice
Okay.
working the equipment. Huh? What do you think about that?
I don't know.
Did
what
I
to
make it
think
weird
about.
enough that we can move on?
Yeah, I think we can.
Okay.
Let's
So when you do pass away, though.
soon, within the next couple of months, for sure.
Oh, you got months?
Yeah.
I
much
got you
time.
in the pool for weeks, but
Well,
anyway. So I'm excited for, I'll have her on as a guest in your memory.
Yeah.
She'll deliver you googly.
I think it's eulogy.
It's you googly.
Okay. What are you, Rod Destiny? Can't pronounce words now?
What do you write for your little Time magazine?
Yeah. Well, hopefully my death comes to fruition very soon. And but what is coming to fruition right now is usually we have a longer intro, but I figured, again, these stories are going to be fun, and we'll probably ramble on for a long time here. So I figured, why not have our guest in right here, right now, in front of all these people.
Where are they?
Hobo Joe Rebis, hello.
What's up? We've been here the whole time, though, kayfabing you.
Yep. We're working here, brother.
Howdy.
Well, I've been looking in Gregory's eyes the whole time, so my eyes never deviated from him.
You weren't looking. You were getting lost.
You weren't
in.
looking at that phone?
I get lost
Okay.
in your eyes. Hold on, I'll look that one up.
No,
That's a Debbie
please,
Gibson,
no,
right?
We don't need that. It's
Is that-
fine.
That's a Debbie Gibson,
move on.
80s. I'm going to go 87, would you say?
Not sure.
Might be 88.
You could be right. We got to find out.
Yeah.
I wish there was
No,
some way
just
that
don't-
you could just find out
Yeah.
things, like without having to do much
No,
research.
You have to go to the library. And that can take weeks.
No,
Oh, that's
when-
weird how you say that. Where are you from?
Library?
Yeah.
Do most people not say the R?
No, they say library.
Library.
Yeah.
Library.
I'm from Warren, Ohio.
You're where? What?
Warren, Ohio.
Ward?
Warren.
Warren.
Rabbit Warren.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
Okay. Anyways, how you guys doing?
Good.
I'm good, yeah. I don't know why you're having us on the show. We didn't have careers.
Yeah, like
You guys had some good careers.
You know what? I think you guys had good careers, and I think particularly about you, Hobo Joe. I mean, we talk about you a lot on the show. And Rebis, I have a couple stories that I think you're going to enjoy that we haven't talked about on the podcast.
Oh, God.
But we'll bring those up. But I feel like people already know who you guys are based on the random.
You know what I feel like?
What?
I feel like some trivia.
No one wants the fucking trivia. No, you're not going to like this trivia. I'm telling you. It's really dumb.
is this like Jeopardy? I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yes, but you don't have to answer in the form of a question.
That's
I'm
what
going
trips
to.
people
All right,
up.
we're having a three-way dance here, right now,
Okay.
for all these people.
Yeah.
Debbie Gibson, Lost in Your Eyes. What year?
I don't know. I'm going to say 88.
I'm going to say 86 just to be different.
Okay.
88.
Also, you didn't ask anyone specifically. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
what
I'm
is 1988?
No, remember I just said it's not. So Rebis lost.
I'm not paying
That's too
attention.
bad. But you also lost because you got the wrong answer. So 1989 is actually the correct. So
I don't know music.
there has
like
to be a
names.
winner, and Hobo Joe, you're the new champion.
Thank you. I was off by 3 years.
Because if you take a 6, which you said
Yeah, they're
1986,
both divisible by 3.
and you. Whoa! I didn't,
Oh, it's all
I didn't know
upside
there
down.
was going to be math. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. What does he win?
The championship of Tiger Driver Trivia.
I love Tiger drivers.
Okay.
Which Tiger driver is it?
Well, this one is it's
Tiger
been
Driver
sponsored
89.
by
89.
our good friend Juan.
Juan?
Juan of the Ortiz. Do you know him?
I thought you were going to say
I know,
Juan Jeremy.
I know the other
and-
one.
Juan Cena.
No, the Juan and the other Juan.
All right.
All right.
Wow. I don't
Well,
know
this is
that.
off to a good start.
You know, usually on this show, every week I call my dad and try to converse about Manscaped and sell him on the Lawnmower 3.0. And quite frankly, I thought it was a little inappropriate to try to sell him on that today. I know, finding it inappropriate to call my dad and annoy him and talk about his balls and his pubic hair. You're probably asking yourself, Greg, what kind of man are you turning into? I'm the same Greg. I'm the same Greg that manscapes each and every week. Okay? I just wanted to be a little bit more professional today. Now, maybe you already own the Lawnmower 3.0 from Manscaped, and that's cool. But maybe you're a noob to trimming those pubes. And so I wanted to talk to you today about perhaps maybe investing in the brand new Lawnmower 4.0. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, Greg, what's the difference between the 3.0 and the 4.0? What kind of upgrades are we talking about when it comes to keeping that peen so fresh and so clean? Well, I'm here to tell you that the Lawnmower 4.0 has incredible new features that you just gotta have for those unsightly ball hairs. I'm talking a new wireless charging system that uses electromagnetic induction. And don't worry, even though it's a new wireless charging system, it still has the 90-minute battery life that the 3.0 had. The Lawnmower 4.0 now has an updated 4000K LED spotlight with diffuser, so you can see where you're trimming, and it has an on-off feature on that LED light. Now, Manscaped isn't trying to pretend like they invented the LED light, but when you've put it on other power tools in the past, it just helps in the whole process. So if you're going to use power tools with lights, why not use this power tool on your power tool? You know what I'm saying here? I mean, come on, get with the program, buddy. It also has a brand new cutting-edge ceramic blade to help reduce grooming accidents with adjustable trimming guard sizes 1 to 4. That's 3, 6, 10, or 13 millimeter settings. Look, you don't have to be completely clean shaven. You can just trim it up a little bit, make it look a little bit grown, you know? You get what I'm saying there? You catch my drift? Regardless, whether you're completely clean shaven or a little bit trimmed, the average mate, I'm talking 70% of mates, prefer a man that is scaped. So why not Manscaped with the best in manscaping? Manscaped. Try the Lawnmower 4.0 on your peen. You'll thank me. Your balls will thank you. And did I mention that the Lawnmower 4.0 is just like the 3.0? You can submerge it in water. In fact, they've improved the features on it, so that way if you drop in a little puddle of water, your whole sink, your bathtub, it's going to be okay. Your Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 will survive. I've loved my new Lawnmower 4.0, and you know what I've loved equally as much? The brand new Manscaped Weed Whacker that I received from my good friends at Manscaped. It trims unsightly nose hairs and ear hairs. And listen, it's not something that I like talking about, but I do get some ear hair issues and some nose hair issues that I'm not particularly a fan of. Market research has found that 79% of partners polled admitted that long nose hair and long ear hair is unattractive. I think you should take my word for it. The Weed Whacker features Manscaped's skin-safe technology just like the lawnmower, and it helps reduce nicks, snags, and tugs, as well as an intelligently contoured design for ease and efficiency. It's got a 9,000 RPM motor and a 360-degree rotary dual-edge blade system, and yeah, it is water-resistant too, like I mentioned. So hey, what are you waiting for? Try out the Weed Whacker and try out the Lawnmower 4.0. Use our promo code PARDON, that's PARDON, and you're going to save 20% and get free shipping. That's PARDON, PARDON. Save 20%, get free shipping, and trust me, your dick is going to look sick, bro. Try it. You'll thank us.
Anyways, so I'm glad to have you guys in the studio. I guess, first of all, for a long time, and we talked about it for a second off air, I've told people for years that you are dead.
Yeah, I love that. I like to assume that Hobo Joe froze to death when Cleveland winter during the polar vortex.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have froze to death because we were in a dumpster together.
Yeah, we held it together for warmth.
Yep.
It's very true. You're not dead.
And you had all those suits.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm just going to keep cutting you off.
That's fine. That's what
I
you
still
do.
have all those suits.
Do you really?
Yeah, I got them in a garbage bag at my dad's. So I don't have them on me. But.
Okay, so we had this idea.
He wore the top part of one to my wedding.
Okay, so
yes, I did.
Pedro, the ring announcer, had come to me and said his dad was sick or something like that, and he wasn't going to wear suits anymore.
Okay.
And his dad was maybe a minister, so he had all these religious
like
suits.
Steve Harvey suits, dude.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's got to be on the internet somewhere, right? Us doing. So we did the whole
it
thing
is.
like
All that shit's on YouTube.
what was that movie? Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Where they go in and they keep coming out in different suits, and then they come out in like the worst tuxedo ever, the orange one and the blue one and whatever.
Yep.
Well, that's debatable. Those are classy.
Yeah. You know what? The one I ended up wearing was actually I had it before. That wasn't one of Pedro's suits.
I wondered how we ended up like deciding on that one, and I think it was just because it was time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, okay, the bell's gonna ring. We should probably quit filming us trying on different suits.
Well, I think it's important to mention that this is based off of the storyline that you guys had, where essentially you were poor because you, like an actual moron, bet on a professional wrestling match, and you lost all of your money.
That's so weird.
This is after Resolution 1. Yeah. It was Chris Cronus versus Jason Bane. You thought that Chris Cronus would be victorious, but you were obviously managing him at the time.
Yes.
He was not, and then he left for Hollywood, which he didn't want anyone to know about that.
And then you gave gave him that watch.
I didn't give him the watch. Wally did. And
Wally gave him a watch?
Well, I don't
know. You don't remember this?
I'll say you don't remember this from the locker room meeting.
No.
So Cronus was trying to leave, on the DL, right?
Yeah.
And so he had only told like Wally, and I think like me and Johnny knew, maybe a couple other people, but he didn't want the whole locker room to know. So during the locker room meeting at Resolution 1, Wally presents Cronus with this watch, and Wally says, "Well, if you have anything you want to say to everybody, go right ahead." And Cronus goes, "Well, I didn't want anyone to know I was leaving, but thank you.
I don't wear watches."
Yeah, but thank you for the watch. I appreciate it. And that was all he said. And it was very
man,
awkward.
a few words. That's why you had a manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember him coming to me afterwards, and we were sitting there, and he's like, "Damn, man, I didn't want anybody to know any of this. I don't know why they did this."
Yep.
And he gave me a watch.
Well,
I just got laid off from Ford.
I think the idea was, I think Wally had heard from me and Johnny that HBK bought Ric Flair a watch, which was a Rolex.
And remember that time Vince McMahon gave Vic a watch?
I don't know if that really happened.
Oh, okay.
But
Did Vic lie about getting a watch of Vince McMahon? That's a great story.
Yeah.
I don't know if he lied about it.
What?
Good for Vic. I'm so happy for him.
Oh yeah, he's doing great.
Yeah.
I got to see him a couple months back.
What's
in
his
Orlando.
face? The ref for NXT, Jake Clemens, right?
Yeah, Jake Clemens.
The Levens.
It's like people I know are doing things.
Yeah, it's real crazy.
Yeah, if you turn on
Rambo.
NXT or AEW right now, you see like half of the guys that we worked with 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's wild.
It's
and I'm
like
still here doing a
everybody
podcast.
except for
Everyone at this table.
This guy.
Yeah. Well, some decent things have happened in my life. I think I'm okay with it. What do you?
Oh, I got a girlfriend now.
Whatever, I'm married, bro.
Well, wait. Oh, did you marry that girl that man? He was dating this girl.
Broadway Mary.
Hold on, no. She was dating this girl back in training, and they stayed together for so long. Me and Johnny have always been so happy for you guys. I can't believe it's panned out from 15 years.
Wait, no. That's not it.
I don't know why you keep bringing this up. I dated that girl for about a month in college. And then she broke up with me because I was an atheist.
No.
Yeah, I was pretty broken up about a time. It was like my first real girlfriend. I was 21. I was 21.
Oh no.
I was real heartbroken because I didn't have anyone to dry hump anymore. Because I used to dry hump her brains out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I would have zipper burns on my dick.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, dude, this was some serious dry humping. I really wanted to fuck, but Jesus, so.
And that will stop things in a hurry.
Yeah.
I just had this discussion with somebody at work. There's a woman who she's married. She's very religious, and she talked about how she got it on with her husband this weekend. And I said, in the attempt to procreate, and she said, "What? No, we were just, getting busy." And I said, "Oh no, that's there's a law about that in the Bible."
No, that happened to my grandparents.
Yeah.
They had 8 kids because every time they fucked, they'd have a baby.
Right, and that's all you're supposed to be having.
They wrote the
intercourse.
bishop to get permission to pull out.
Yeah.
And the bishop said no. This was in the 50s, late 50s.
Wow.
Should've tried a cardinal.
Yeah.
You sure it wasn't in the 60s, late 60s?
No.
Like 69?
No, it wasn't. Because my mom was the second youngest. She was born in 63. So.
Wow.
And your grandpa was the hungest, right?
I don't know what my grandpa's dick looked like. I can't ask him. He's been dead for 30 years.
Oh, that's
Well, that's
unfortunate.
awkward now. I feel like
I don't
I
think
can't
it
ask
is.
my grandmother. She's been dead for over 10.
Well,
And I'm sure it's rotted off if I wanted to exhume the body.
Greg, how long's your mom been dead?
going on 11 years now. Actually, we'll get back to that in a second.
Okay.
See, I knew we were going to get off the rails. I was talking about that storyline you guys were in.
Oh, fuck.
And
You know how many rails I've done in my life?
I don't care to know,
Oh,
to be
okay.
honest. But so you lost all your money.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't the first time that I had bet on professional wrestling. Okay. And I think that's why I made that bet. The first time I bet on professional wrestling was the main event, Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan. I bet on Andre.
As you would.
Yeah, my buddy Robbie Coates, he bet on Hulk Hogan. And I remember feeling like amazing that Andre won the championship. And because I had bet on him. And I only took the bet because I wanted to bet.
Was it Saturday night's main event?
It was the main event.
Okay, I thought it was WrestleMania 3.
No.
Yeah.
No, although he should have won that.
Well, he's a giant. You don't expect him to lose ever.
He was undefeated for over 15 years. Yeah.
Giant.
He's a drinking champion, too.
Yeah. He's huge.
For sure.
He liked to shit on people.
Literally? Like glass bottom boats?
No, I think he just, he would sit on you in the corner or something.
Yeah, if he didn't like you, he'd take a dump on you.
Yeah. He would just
never heard that.
But what I heard was he would just try to fart so badly that sometimes poop came out.
And then it squirt out.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't he poop on Bad News Brown?
I've heard that, but I heard that was
ironic that it was Bad News Brown. Yeah.
He was just bad news first.
Well, the brown was bad news.
So
when you see brown, you know that's bad news.
You bet on professional wrestling, you lose all your money, but Hobo Joe in the storyline, he finds a lottery ticket. And
wait. Who threw the lottery ticket away?
I know who threw the lottery ticket away.
Who was it?
It's this dude. His name was Hubie Wrestling. He ran a backyard promotion in Willowick, and that was actually where my last match was in his backyard. And then we watched the WrestleMania. It was the second one with Cena and The Rock. We got high and we watched that.
Jesus Christ.
Well, all I remember was in the storyline, I got the lottery ticket. Somebody tipped me a lottery ticket because I wasn't getting many tips. Because Hobo was trying to teach me how to beg for money.
Yeah, so when you became poor, you started living in the dumpster with Hobo Joe, and you guys became quick friends.
Dumpster mates.
Yes. And to this day, it's still Adrian Gargano's favorite professional wrestling storyline. Not a day goes by when I go over that house that she does not mention Hobo Joe and Aaron living in the dumpster and how much she loved that story.
Shit was classic, yo.
Yeah.
I can't believe I wasn't coherent for much of it.
You don't remember any of that shit.
I remember some of it. Yeah, but yeah.
I was actually part of that storyline at one point.
Yeah, we had you dress up, and we sat out on the Italian flag bench in Cleveland, and you sold us cell phones or some beepers.
Right.
Beepers, yeah.
Because the idea was Hobo was foolishly spending his money.
Yeah.
So of course a Hobo
Miller High Life and pagers.
What was it? 2009. He's buying pagers.
That sounds like the hottest rap album of the summer.
That plate of shrimp, you kept getting closer and closer to me.
Oh yeah.
I was allergic to open.
And it was hot too, right?
Oh,
warm shrimp.
Oh god. So you become rich because you find this lottery ticket. But I remember the time
that I threw away.
You didn't throw it away.
I threw it away.
I found it. You didn't throw it away.
I threw it away. I got it as a tip. I got it as a tip.
Oh,
I threw it in the trash.
No, I forgot that.
And then Hobo goes, and he's going through the trash looking for food for the night, and he goes, "Hey, lottery ticket."
Yeah.
And I go, man, this is only a $2 lottery ticket. What's the most you can win?
Yeah.
And of course, this was the biggest thing we had a debate about.
How much money?
Yep.
I think it was too low.
No, I think it was too high.
You kept saying it was too high, I remember.
Because
the initial number was too high, and then I wanted to do less, and now I think we should have went with a higher number.
We were supposed to go with, 100,000? And we ended up going with 25,000 because...
No, I think it was 10,000.
I was trying to think of what's the most you could win on a cheap scratch up.
Yeah. That was highly up for debate. We should have asked Adrian, who loves...
Yeah.
You could have just went to Pit Stop Donut and bought a lottery ticket.
Well, they're closed now because the owner is dead.
I was told they never close.
I
the
have
owner
said
dies,
that they never close.
Yeah. So you become rich, and I think the best part about this was you're walking around with a sack with the money with a dollar sign on it.
Hey, somebody else does that nowadays, don't they?
Is that what Cameron Grimes is doing?
No.
He should.
Who's that guy that dressed like a demon that was our #1 podcast?
Oh, Danhausen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, doesn't he do that? A human sack of money?
Yeah, he wants sacks of money.
Yeah.
And a blimp.
Okay.
That's his thing. That's what he's into.
So he totally was watching PWO in 09 or whatever.
A lot of people were ripping us up.
Yeah. So that's how you get rich, and then obviously you do the skit, which is the reason why we went off on this tangent for the last 20 minutes. You do the skit with the suits.
Yeah.
And one of the more memorable skits. But I think more memorable than that is when... Aaron was supposed to become a big heel again because people fell in love with you.
Yeah.
Okay. The two of you, and right when the turn's going to happen, Hobo Joe gets the bright idea to cut a heel promo.
Yeah, well, here's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
We want to hear this straight from your mouth.
Yeah. Okay, so here was the idea. I thought that the money would be corrupting Hobo Joe.
Right.
And we take the crowd on a little ride, right?
Sure.
Where, you see Hobo Joe sort of, he's got the money now. Maybe he's starting to be kind of a bad guy, corrupted by the money. And then it makes the betrayal even hurt more.
Sure.
It was a bad idea.
Yeah, but it was an idea.
It was an idea, yes.
It was an idea that
But
nobody
honestly,
else thought.
We canceled like 3 shows in a row that year or some shit.
Probably.
So I wanted to do a longer storyline where I got to be rich. I was rich for like half a show.
I feel like it was probably like a half.
It was probably within the same taping.
Yeah.
No, it was the next set of tapings.
It was a co-show with Wasp.
Because we did the Greco-Roman knuckle lock.
Yeah, and the Battle Royal.
But the Battle Royal got aired before your promos, so people knew that he was rich already, because he was all clean-shaved and stuff.
I shaved during the show.
Yeah.
And then we just did a Greco-Roman knuckle lock, like the whole Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, every spot was just us in a Greco-Roman knuckle lock.
And then Chuck and someone had this wild, like, hardcore brawl because I wanted to be on TV, but it was too bloody to air.
I think it was very sad.
I remember that.
I do remember that. And that's actually Wasp, which was Wrestling All-Star Promotions, was actually the reason why we lost that venue in Lakewood.
Yeah.
Because Wally had a bright idea before that to let Wasp also run that venue, the Lakewood Masonic Temple. And they did some bloody...
That wasn't the temple, no. That was the... That was that church hall in, like...
oh, yeah, Lakewood.
But St. Michael's or something like that, I think?
Yeah.
No, it's AEW was running there for a while. They got a big picture of, like, a pope in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
You're
Pope
thinking
or the Pope?
Mount Carmel.
Yeah,
Mount Carmel,
Mount
that's
Carmel.
But I'm saying Wasp used to run shows in Lakewood.
Yeah, the Masonic Hall.
Right.
Well,
because
everyone was because you
That was
guys
a
were
great
running
venue.
that like in like the beginning of PWO too, like and
Yeah.
then I think I know what you're talking about. Didn't someone leave like a flat iron on something and like set a chair on fire or something like that? In the basement?
I don't know why. I just assumed someone had a bloody, stupid, hardcore match and then
Probably.
got.
I
us
remember
banned from the
working a
building.
Wasp show in that venue. I think it was
I did
Wrestle
too.
Bowl.
Yeah, one of my first matches was in that building for Wasp. But so we went off on a tangent. But so the storyline, culminates with you turning on Hobo, Aaron.
Mhm.
But I don't.
And me turning Hobo on.
Definitely.
That's okay. I don't remember you thinking that much in depth about that promo because all I remember is being in the back with Johnny where you're in the ring cutting this promo and you go, I have more money than all of you people. Blah, and so they're booing, right?
Yeah.
And so when Aaron turns and then Bobby Beverly beat your ass, which is supposed to be, I think,
That was
Beverly's
Bobby's heel turn as well.
They cheer Bobby and Aaron
Yeah.
and they boo you.
So by turning heel without discussing with anyone, I fucked up 2 heel turns.
Yeah, it was hard times. But I think the storyline in general was great because
Good thing I didn't remember any of it.
Yeah, well,
Sounds sad now.
well, and of course you stole the lottery ticket and the money from Hobo Joe because you needed to pay back the Gambinos, which were the hired hitmen that apparently you made the bet with.
Yeah.
And just
They were coming to kill me.
mhm.
Or they were coming to off me.
Right.
I didn't say kill.
And then of course, wait, was that a real thing?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Sounds about right. So then we ended up doing this tag match at Resolution 2, and it ends up being the Gambinos versus Hobo Joe and Jason Bane.
Yeah, the team of Dirty Harry.
I don't think that was the official name, but it should have been. What do you guys remember about that match? Well, I'm sorry. I looked at Aaron for that.
Yeah.
He was in a very different state.
I remember
Hobo,
it was
what do
a
you
dumpster match,
remember?
but we didn't have a dumpster. And I remember we wanted to steal a dumpster.
Dude, so I literally just forgot about that,
Yeah.
but now like it's coming back to me because so we announced that it's going to be a dumpster match because obviously that makes sense. Hobo Joe
And
dumpster,
they threw us in a dumpster in the build-up, too.
right?
Yeah.
And so then maybe the week of the show, Wally, the promoter, ends up telling me and Johnny, well, we don't have a dumpster. And I remember telling you, and you're freaking the fuck out. We're all freaking out. I literally, the day of the show, went around the local stores in Cleveland like an asshole, and I'd walk up in like these convenience stores, and I would just go, listen, I have an odd request. I see that you have this dumpster outside the building here, and I was just wondering if we could borrow it for the day. And of course, they would tell me no. And then that day, down by the venue, there was a dumpster like, I don't know, a mile down the street.
Yeah, it was pretty close. Close enough where we could have wheeled it into the venue.
We were thinking about wheeling it down to the venue, but we didn't. And so, what did we use in place
It was
of the
a
dumpster?
big trash cart where you gather up trash bags and then take them to a dumpster. And we
Yeah.
just decided we'll throw them in that
Yeah.
and push it across the finish line like a stretcher match.
Yeah.
And it worked. It was fine. but it wasn't a dumpster match.
Right, but I do remember it being a fun match.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I watched that with my wife not too recently.
Really?
Yeah.
She
also watched me do stupid wrestling shit.
Well, okay, so tell me about this wife that you're married to now. I mean, obviously, this is not the girl you were dating 15 years ago, which makes me very sad. It's hard for me to still imagine you married, but I guess it's because I knew you when you were like 19 years old.
Yeah, and sad all the time.
Yeah, very sad. When you used to would have sex with a plastic baggie between two couch cushions.
Wait a minute. This person you married?
Yeah.
Different than the one I was your best man for?
Oh, no, that was a cardboard cutout of Troy Wilson.
No, that was a cardboard cutout of Chewbacca.
Chewbacca was... I didn't marry Chewbacca. He was in the wedding party.
Oh, that was a swerve.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I married
that one I
cardboard
was real
cutout of
bad
Troy
for, though.
Wilson. It was like a 30-minute segment during intermission of a mega show.
Yeah, we tied in it was a cross-promotional event. Because I remember...
it ended with them beating the shit out of Rebis and me walking away with Troy Wilson and not helping him.
I think Fresh was involved at the end of that too, but like you're just like, you just
I
kind of
was the best man, and then they got me because I had a broken. I think I had a broken heel.
Oh yeah, because you're walking with that cane at the time.
Yeah.
And man, they just
somebody took
shit out of me.
Yeah.
So here's a funny story about that. We finished the segment. And then they're beating the shit out of Rebis in the ring for like another 10 minutes.
Yeah,
then it leads into a match. The segment went forever.
Of course.
As soon as I walk back to Troy Wilson, JT Lightning is standing there. He looks right at me and says, "That fucking sucked." And walked away.
Yeah.
And he wasn't wrong.
True, yeah.
I think the Nomad was involved in that too, wasn't
Yes, the Nomad was also one of my groomsmen.
What the heck?
Which means I don't know why the Nomad.
What a Survivor Series team that would have been.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, that'd be something. So listen, Hobo, you start in 2006 when I start training.
Yeah.
Rebis, you're a little bit before that, right?
2004 is when I broke in with Puerto Rican Sensation. We, oh man.
Oh, rest in peace.
What?
He's not dead.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he announced
Who's the guy
this
that
for
died?
hockey now.
Yeah, hold on. You're thinking of Latino
Latino
Velez.
Oh, yeah.
The Hangman.
I found out he was dead
no.
the first day of training.
That was your first day?
My first day of
training. Because I was like a
training.
month in, and I remember it being like real weird because, well, tell me what you remember
Yeah,
about it.
so you were like a month before me, and I think Matt Justice was like a month after us. We all started kind of around the same time.
Okay.
So it was my first. I did a tryout. I came back. This was my first day of actual training. I was mostly doing Shane with Canadian Bad Boy. But I remember JT Lightning comes in. He tells us that Latino Velez is dead. I didn't know him because I'm new. And then he tells us that we got a TV deal on Sports Wow.
Yeah.
Same announcement.
Sure.
Same time.
Yeah.
Hey, man, way to sandwich that together.
Right. But he also, I remember him telling us specifically that if we ever need to talk to him, that we could. And I remember several times early on trying to talk to JT, and he would just blow me off. Like trying to talk about how my parents weren't supportive about wrestling. He just did not give a fuck at all.
Yeah.
So that was very nice. But Rebis, Latino Velez, you don't break in with him. You break in with Puerto Rican Sensation.
Though there was a whole series of matches that I had with Puerto Rican Sensation, Latino Velez, and Flawless. But Puerto Rican Sensation I broke in because we knew this kid Brandon Coe, and Brandon Coe was very sick and loved pro wrestling, so we used to like hang out in the same building, like same apartment building. We met him at the swimming pool, and we got hooked up with his mom and him, and like his mom knew G-Mo, who is a Cleveland promoter.
Oh yeah, we talk about G-Mo like all the time.
Okay, and the mom was like, "Well, you guys want to be pro wrestlers?" And like, I just got out of the army and stuff, and I was like, "Yeah, we want to be pro wrestlers." They're like, "Well, why don't you go down and talk to him, and like he'll set you up." So we show up at the show, and no training whatsoever. He's like, "Hey kids, you got 20 minutes out there."
What? That sounds about right.
And he gives
Jesus Christ.
And he gives us a 20-minute like match. Again, we've never been in a ring before.
So to preface this, not a 20-minute time limit. You guys have to go 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Okay.
And we get out in the ring, and like we don't know like shit, dude.
Clearly,
like
yeah.
Except for like like I know how to like legitimately wrestle from like knowing how to do Greco-Roman and stuff because I used to Top Gun when I was in the army. So I was like, okay, and we get in there and we just start fucking stiffing each other. We're punching each other in the face. I give him a fucking Paprikash bomb. Like everything is a high spot that like we have no idea how to do. We're just killing each other. And like we get to the back and the Canadian
Canadian Bad Boy?
no, not Canadian Bad Boy. There was other Canadians that came up. It was Biff Beverly was his name.
Oh, yeah.
Who ends up going to jail later on for sleeping with his stepdaughter.
We have addressed that on the show, yes.
And he's like, and like he looks at us and he's like, "You guys need to get fucking trained." And we're like, "Yeah."
Duh.
And then G-Mo comes up and he's like, brother, you guys are the best ever. They loved you. Everyone wants you to come back. Why don't you go help in the ring after the show? We'll get you going. And then like he's like, come back next month, do the same thing. And we're like,
what?
And we show up the next month, and
you have had no training in the meantime. Okay.
No training except for like I'm watching I'm going to watching like videos on like how to like bump and shit on YouTube.
Okay, yeah.
And like this is like beginning YouTube, so it's
right.
like it's like secrets of pro wrestling. And we come back, and I'm like, oh fuck, okay, like, all right, well at least it's me and him. And we get back, and and he's like, all right, here's the match: Puerto Rican Sensation versus Batman.
Wait, they had a Batman?
It was
B-A-T-T.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Rebis, you listen to the podcast?
No.
I'm telling you.
No, he just brought up Biff Beverly and stuff.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
He's tried to set it up so the listeners know, but they know.
No,
he's talking
know
about
these
it.
guys, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's wrestling Batman, and
can you describe Batman? What he looks like?
Batman does not look very much like Batman. Batman.
Do you know who he is?
Oh, I know who T.C. Reynolds is.
Okay.
I mean,
he was Doink.
Yeah, he was also
Okay.
Doink. He was mid Ohio Doink.
Yeah.
And he was also Batman, but he didn't look. He looked like Batman, like if he was Adam West's Batman,
Yeah.
but he was wearing like the Michael Keaton suit.
Okay.
We're like from Halloween Express.
Yeah, no. No, he was like a legitimate Batman suit, man. Like the suit
okay.
was awesome.
Really?
The person in the suit. I mean, I like he's good. I mean, like he does what he does.
Yeah.
But Batman loses in Cleveland to Puerto Rican Sensation by interference,
Dude.
when he gets sprayed in the face with a can of Axe.
That's ridiculous. I would put Batman over. I'm not
Yeah,
counting out
that's
Batman
a
anymore.
legitimate thing. And then I got to wrestle Jabari.
Okay.
Oh, right on.
And Jabari like really took care of me. And after that point, like Gmo got a building, and then I kind of fell in.
Prior to this, you were in a parking lot, correct?
No, like he went to Turner's. He was running the basement
okay.
from JT, and like JT's like, you really need to get trained. Like I see, like he's just like there was like genuine concern for my well-being in it.
Yeah.
Like he's like I went out and like I got like gear and stuff like that. Like I got my red singlet with like and doing all that
At
stuff.
least you got gear.
Yeah, I had gear mostly.
Yeah.
And then like Gmo started running like in the basement, like training people, and like Psycho Mike came down there, and like he would have like he would train us. He taught us how to bump, which was like but really Outlaw Johnny Walker was the one that like taught us how to work.
And Johnny Walker's a guy that's been around for a long time.
JT's tag partner,
Yeah.
fucking solid dude, just a really good human being in general, and like he taught us how to work and stuff like that because he was down there and like because he wanted to get back in shape, and he actually ended up working some CAPW shows right after that, which I think like at this point I think it's like 2005 2006 like we're doing this like.
Yeah, I remember him like the first couple CAPW shows I went to. I think it was him
Same.
and JT against the Munchies.
Yeah, always against the Munchies, and then like we kind of fell into wrestling with Wasp, and like actually CWA was running that building at the same time as JT, and like he was drawing like Gmo was drawing insane crowds. Like there was like 300 people there on like a fucking Saturday afternoon, which made like no sense at all.
That's pretty good for CWA.
Yeah, it's pretty good for anyone in Cleveland that isn't like AIW or CAPW.
Right.
Yeah.
You brought up gear though. There's
Yeah.
something I wanted to address. Rebis, how do you spell your name?
Ribis. But my wrestling name is Rebis, and that's how AIW would spell it. Because originally I was not Rebis, I was Juan Jeremy.
Jeremy was so, I don't know why you didn't keep doing
All
that.
right.
But
because
you know what?
people
When I
told
first
me
saw
not
your
to.
name written, I thought it was Rebis. So I understand why they changed it.
Now Juan Jeremy was obviously based off of Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, that is correct. A Hawaiian shirt, stuffing the shit out of my tights because I'm Polish and yeah, I need to.
Love it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a time at AIW where you got a new pair of trunks.
Yes.
Okay, and see, I see your reaction here, so I think you remember what I'm talking
the
about.
green and red
and-
trunks that made me look like a Ken doll.
Well, they had your name on them.
Oh, those.
Okay, and so and it said REBUS.
Yeah.
And I remember asking you, Rebis, I thought you spelled your name REBIS. And you said, no, I spell it
Oh no, I was trying to cover up for the guy.
Oh yeah, because I was like,
dude, that happened twice. He got shirts made, and the same thing happened. And he lied. He said, "No, that's how I spell it." I'm like, dude, I've known you for years. I know that's not true.
Right. At this point, it's like 3 or 4 years. I'm like, I think Rebis is lying to us.
Yeah, like here's the. I was just trying to cover up because, like, first off, I'd spent the money on the gear. I wasn't gonna buy new gear.
Right.
Because it was the Rebis rock shirts that had the little Rolling Rock logo on them, and I loved them, and I only got to wear them so much. And Fontaine made the shirts, and I was like, no, I'll just do it this way. Like I love Fontaine, so like let's just do it this way. It works.
Sure.
And I sold like 2 of those shirts.
Wow.
But
You
isn't
still
that
have
the way
them?
you spell the puzzle? The Rebis.
Yeah, the Rebis puzzle.
Well, maybe you should have went with that.
Honestly, it's way cooler than the actual spelling. So I can't.
Rebus.
Rebus.
Yeah.
I love it.
Because I'm a big guy. I'm the
Ric
Rebus.
Flair
Sure.
spells his fucking name wrong.
It's very true. It's
Yeah.
very true. It's very different spellings. Now, at what point did you become a short-lived tag team with Eric Ryan?
Oh. Oh God!
I only bring this up because Eric asked me to bring this up to you.
Oh, that means Eric and I know a lot of things. I used to work at a strip club called Bugsy Speakeasy on Broad Street in
fucking
Elyria,
years, bro.
Ohio, for 10 years.
Now, for someone that's seen a nice strip club in a movie, describe what Bugsy looks like.
Yo,
in
bitch made me
comparison.
come in my pants there once.
Okay, wait, we'll get to that in a second. What does Bugsy's look like?
Okay, Bugsy's is like if you took a dive bar with tiles and you put it on the countertop.
Throw some titties on top.
And then you put a brass pole up kind of against the wall with the railing the girls have to grab to walk up the stairs or else they're gonna fall and get their fingerprints all over the mirrors.
Sure.
And then you don't take care of the stools for a decade, and you have what might quite possibly be the most uncomfortable lap dance area ever, just chairs out in like the middle.
Uh-huh.
And then you put some pretty cute bartenders behind the bar somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, dude,
The bartenders are better looking than the girls.
Yeah, it's true. Like, I mean,
Anytime you got a hot girl in there, it was like, get in while you can. She's gonna go to a better club.
it's
Yeah.
100% what happened. Like they would come in, like it would be really weird because we were by Oberlin College,
Yeah.
so we would get these fucking exchange students from like foreign countries that would come in and like they would make like $2 or $3 grand, then we'd never see them again
Love
because
That's the
they
way
wor
to do it, man.
because they were clearly using this money to buy coke.
that.
Like clearly,
no.
100%. Like they come in like no septum from Russia.
Oh,
Like
God.
my name's Natasha. I'm gonna be here for a night.
Got that Artie Lang nose. You don't want that.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
terrible.
no.
That's real bad. Real quick, there's that's my first and one of 2 strip clubs that I've been to.
Yes.
Only because Hobo Joe pressured me into going for my birthday. For my
You were all depressed and shit. I wanted you to go lap dance.
I was depressed, and actually I really enjoyed myself. And there was a hot girl there at the
she had
time.
big titties. Yeah.
Yeah, that I got a lap dance from.
Kitty, the one that had the one that lied to you about having cerebral palsy. In reality, she had a stroke on stage from
Wait,
doing too much coke.
That's
Wait.
a different girl, I
That
think.
yeah.
No, there was a girl that had
No, he had the
CP
girl
there.
I don't remember
No,
meeting
I
this
got a
girl.
dance
though.
from that girl.
Yeah.
She told me it was multiple sclerosis.
No, that's a lie too. Because like she would tell different people, but in reality, like she OD'd and it like fucked her up
Oh
real
my
bad.
No, he had some girl with big titties. I remember
Oh,
her.
you know what, Riley?
She was great.
It was like a cute blonde girl.
Yeah, like short bob blonde hair. Yeah, Riley. Oh,
and,
dude.
and so I remember like I get the lap dance from her, which Hobo Joe paid for. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
I never even got a dance for her because she was always booked for the night.
Yeah.
I never see her.
And I remember being real awkward, and as she's dancing, I remember her like as she's like grinding against me, and she looks at me and goes, "You're cute." And for 1 second, I was like, I think I have a chance with this girl. But then I thought to myself, No, it's a work. It's a work. I should know this, right?
That keep
And so,
paying you, bro.
but so then I was still awkward, and I was like, well, maybe I should try to have a conversation with her. And I like, what do I talk to her about? So I said, so as she's dancing, I'm going, so what did you do before working here? Or, like, what job did you have? And like, oh, do you go to school? Like, so what made you choose this line of work? And I'm just like trying to have like an actual conversation with her, and that just didn't pan out very well.
Fun fact about her: she's actually a paramedic in like Tennessee now.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Like,
Like,
keep up with the girl.
I kept up with that one. She was always very nice to me.
Of course, you kept up with that
That
one.
one. I mean, like, I kept up with her until I got married.
Yeah, well, that's fair. I
Yeah,
appreciate
but
that.
now, like, the last time I heard she's like a paramedic in like Tennessee, like Memphis or something like that.
Dude, I don't know if your wife wants to be telling the story. I'm gonna tell anyway. One time we're there,
Fuck.
this girl just walks up to Rebis and is like, "Finger me, please."
What?
And he like fingers her right in the middle of the bar.
What?
And she like comes real quick. and then it's like, thank you, and walks away.
This is
What?
Now this is way before I met my wife. This is like
years ago.
Way before like she just comes up and like
and she was like the hottest girl there.
Yeah,
too.
and like she just had a thing for dudes that kind of look like dads, and like I always had like a beard, and like I was kind of like. And like I was always wearing a polo shirt and like jorts.
Yeah.
And like she was just super into it, and like, and like that was the thing. Like she just wanted me to reach out and touch her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. I do remember it must have been the girl you were dating at the time when that night after the strip club, like I stayed over your house.
Oh yeah.
Which was above Bugsy's, right?
Yeah, it was next door, but
next door. Okay.
But it was
But I remember. I don't think you had an extra bed, so I ended up sleeping in like the
kids' bed. Yeah,
and it was perfect
Was
size
I there
for
too?
me. You were there too.
You were there.
Yeah.
You slept on
I
the
had
couch.
the couch, and you had to have the child's bed.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: the child's bed is clearly more comfortable than that sketchy looking
That
couch.
couch
The
fucking sucked, dude. Because you and your fat girlfriend are always sitting on it and fucking up the suspension.
We did more than sit on that, buddy. You've sat in my cum sinks.
Oh no.
Oh, dude, that couch has been wrecked many a time by her and her friends.
Rebis, how long were you there at Bugsy's? You worked for a long
dude,
time.
I was there for
Decade of dominance, bro.
Oh wow, J-Rock Daddy. Give it up
I
one
gave
time.
it up one time.
Yeah.
I was there for actually probably about 11 years. I walked in there and I wanted a part-time job because I thought I was going to make it in wrestling. Big surprise, I didn't.
You were so excited when you got that job,
Dude,
too.
well, here's things.
It just became despair within a year.
The first night there, I made $125 in cash. Like cash money in my pocket and tip out. And I was like, if I do this 4 days a week, I can pay my rent and still have money left over. And this was on like a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And like, I wish that I had the tip out, because I would just waste money like on stuff. Because like I would
Warcraft minis.
Warhammer, dude.
Warhammer,
so much Warhammer. Just magic cards, like just nerd stuff. Like because like I had the cash readily available, and then I was still getting a paycheck on top of it, and they were paying me like $10 an hour, and like it was like 2007.
Sure.
Which is like it's like
That's good cash.
Yeah, it's good cash. Like on top of this tip out I'm getting, and like if you walk the girls out, you get like an extra $20-$30 sometimes. Like you make a lot of money if you're smart and you're nice to people and you don't try to fuck everybody.
Yeah, you gotta walk the girls out because there's homeless people just hanging out from.
Like I've been in more bar fights than anyone has any right to have ever been in.
Yeah. What's the craziest fight you ever been in?
Oh, that's how I lost my teeth, man.
Really?
Yeah, there's this girl in the bar, right? And this girl, and like she's got that look, like the look that I'm talking about, like when someone's like on drugs, like
yeah,
like,
I had a mom that was on drugs all the time.
So did I. We'll get back to that later. I'm hoping.
Sure. Yeah. Post Mother's Day show.
Yeah. And like she's got that like crazy look, and she's like offering to give people like a hand job for a beer, like in the bar. Like while girls are talking to customers, and I'm like, okay,
seems like a fair trade.
That's undercutting the business.
Yeah, it is. Especially when she's just a beer, man. Like, come on, at least ask lap dance prices, $10 at least.
Right.
No, so I go up to her and I'm like, hey, you gotta go, and she's like, I ain't gotta do shit, and like she starts going off with my bartender. So like I slip behind her, I put her in a half Nelson, I'm walking her out because like she's getting violent.
Dude, he does a half and half suplex. This bitch no salsa like Kobashi.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Wait to spoil the end there, buddy.
Yeah.
Like I walk her out. We get to the end of the door, and like Bugsy's has 2 doors. They both push out so you can get someone out of the bar quick.
It's also fire safety.
Yeah, we get through the first door, and like I'm like, okay, you got to go. And I start letting go of her. When I let go of her, she turns around and like mandible fucking claws me, and like has me like by the jaw. So I 2-piece her, like, and like here's the thing, is like, I'm at this point I'm like 320, and like that's a big dude to be punching you.
Sure.
And like she doesn't fucking move.
What was she on?
Later on, it was found out there was PCP.
Oh no!
So like she's got me by the mouth, and I'm bleeding from the mouth, and I'm hitting her. I get her out the door. I go behind, and I take her down to the ground, and I'm holding her down, and like she's fighting, she's biting at me and shit like that. So like I scoop underneath her, and I put her in a short choke, which is you put your forearm across her throat and you pull down and back, and you put her out.
Yeah.
Well, I put her out. And like, I stand up, turn around, go to back in, and I feel someone punch me in the back of the head. Like she's right back up.
I can't believe it.
So like, I turn around and like again, like I'm like, what the fuck? And like, she's like throwing slaps at me and shit like that. So I grab her, I legitimately scoop slam her like on the concrete.
Did she post?
No post. Dude, arms.
Fucking sandbagged you.
Fucking indie superstar meth head, fucking PCP bitch. And I grab her and I fucking body slam her and like she pops back up and like she fucking hisses at me and like runs down the goddamn street. And then like she keeps coming back and like pounding on the windows and running away the rest of the night.
Oh my god.
Dude, fucking and well, I didn't realize at the time, but like she had like shit and like stuff underneath her fingernails, and I got periodontitis from it.
Oh no!
Because my mouth got all infected, and like I ended up all my teeth like loosened up on the bottom and the top, and like that's the reason I have a summer smile now.
Yeah,
summer there, summer
yes,
not.
yes, for sure.
Do you regret not doing a Michinoku driver when you had her up for the body slam?
Every day in my life.
Now here's my question.
Yeah.
After this occurrence happens and the news of this spreads, how quickly did Gmo reach out to her about being a part of the CIA?
Oh no, he didn't reach out to her. He reached out to me and was like, "Hey brother, you want to be Shrek?"
Why did you do it?
I'm not gonna be Shrek.
Oh,
I mean, look.
Wait, what's the pitch other than him saying Shrek?
Yeah, he's brother, we're gonna paint your head green. We'll put a vest on you. He's like, the kids will love it, man.
Well, and here's the best part, because he's already just putting a picture of Peter Griffin on the flyer and saying Family Guy's on the show.
Like the cartoon?
Yeah, he would literally.
Yeah,
so he would book this guy Family Guy that looked like Peter Griffin, but on the flyers he would just put cartoon character of Peter Griffin. It would say featuring Family Guy, so he could put Shrek right next. You guys could have been a tag team.
Well, that was the pitch.
Yeah.
Again, he wanted that match, and I was like, that's not gonna happen. Like
a
ever.
dream
Like
match.
I'm done with wrestling. Like I don't need this. And then he's like, oh man, he's like Rompin' Stompin' Ronnie's getting put in the Hall of Fame, and like that's how I got on that show with you in Family Guy. And I was like, the first thing I did was like, well, Rompin' Stompin' Ronnie, I'm like, I'll come in and work, but like not Family Guy. He's like, well, you can work me, and I'm like, oh, I mean, okay. I mean, like, like I know what's gonna happen, and like I'm like, oh, let me call Hobo. Like Hobo's he's gonna want to fucking manage me for this. Mm-hmm. And I call him and like, Hobo's in. He's fucking.
I came out of retirement for it.
Out of retirement, no shoes on, pair of jorts, just a t-shirt. Yeah, but just regular Hobo gear.
Pretty much my gear.
Yeah.
But we get there and like I bring my wife to be to the show. Jeez. And she has never seen me wrestle before.
Okay.
And like we get to the show and we go to the locker room and like me and Hobo are there and like we see some familiar faces like Chuck's there,
this would be Johnny Blaze or from the PWO days, Charles White Sox Johnson.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Matt Galachek, what's his gimmick name? He used to team with
I don't think I know him.
No, you know him. He used to team with Chronica before he was like
that dude.
Max Alexander.
Yeah, he was there.
He was there.
Max Alexander. Or
Yes.
Yeah, Max Alexander. And like
franchise player.
Yes.
Yes.
And
this
like
before Bobby Beverly.
And like Psycho Mike's there and stuff like that. And I was like, I saw Psycho Mike. I was like, okay, this could probably be a tag match. I'm like, oh, you know what? Like, I know what's going to happen. They're not going to hurt me. Like, they'll hit me with shit, but, like, they're not going to, like, hurt me, you know what I mean? Like, they'll at least...
Who's your partner, Rebis?
Sonny Landell was my partner? Or Bobby Fulton.
Bobby
Fulton was
yeah.
my partner. Sonny Landell. Sonny Landell shit the ring.
He did shit in the ring. We've talked about that on the show,
but Bobby
too.
Fulton is there from the Fantastics, and, like, Gmo comes, he's like, hey, brother, you and Bobby Fulton are a tag team. And I'm like... Why are you doing this to Bobby Fulton? It's all that's going in the back of my mind.
Now, Bobby Fulton is only on the show because obviously he's done some credible stuff. He rented the ring.
Yeah,
this is why he's on the show.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise he's not going to be on a CWA show. Like, the only other stars they bring in was, like, Iron Sheik when he was on crack.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying?
No, they brought Buff Bagwell. There was like...
But when Buff Bagwell was on crack. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when these guys were heavy into crack, that's when they would work
on the downturn. And
you New Jack?
No. No, they did not. Thank God.
I try to watch what I say about New Jack because I don't know.
That's fair.
Dude,
yeah,
he lives, he lives fair enough to drive up here and kill all of us.
Not a fan of that.
Please don't bring him up.
Right.
All right, sorry.
It's
like Beetlejuice.
Wait, before we continue, I always try to look for that promo that New Jack cut on you, Hobo, but it's not on YouTube anymore.
That sucks, dude.
That was like one of your first matches, right?
No, I was like a year or two in.
Was it that
But I
far
got booked
in?
to New Jack's promotion in Cincinnati.
Yes.
Through some guy who worked at AEW, worked down there. I can't remember his name. Big dude. Can't remember.
Oh, Nick Belushi.
No, wasn't Fat Nick.
No.
Nick and Thorne were there.
Yeah.
But that's not who booked me. It doesn't matter. So I worked. Yeah, me, Louis DiMonte, and Eric Ryan rode down. But he cuts a promo before where he's announcing the names on the show, And he gets to the end, he says, Hobo Joe, and he like does a double take. Hobo Joe. Bro, if you got a name like Hobo Joe, that's enough to make... And he got drunk during the show and was cool as shit.
That's awesome.
But, like, yeah, I was scared.
All right.
See, that's the exact opposite of my New Jack experience. Because, like, I was there when AIW brought them in the first time. And, like, I'm down in the back and, like, I'm super green and new to the business. And, like, he's there and I was, like, getting a bottle of water. And, like, I look up and I see New Jack and I'm kind of awestruck. And he's like, "What you looking at?" And I was like, "Nothing, sir." Put my head down and just walked away. And then he cuts a promo, like, about how if JT Lang shows up, we're all gonna beat his ass in the alley and not tell anybody.
What?
Oh, dude, yeah,
Who
this
shows up?
If JT showed up, because this was right in the middle
shit.
of the feud, the Cleveland Clash.
Oh, gotcha.
And Jed like cut this promo with like a pirate sword about how like AIW is gonna be the best promotion in Cleveland.
Yeah, but so like AIW and Cleveland All Pro had a falling out, and you weren't allowed to work AIW if you did Cleveland All Pro and vice versa.
Yeah.
So that's why.
To the
I
point
think it was Matt Justice that opened the Forbidden Door, wasn't it?
Was it?
I think so. I remember he got booked before we do it. So
He was in Revelation 13. I
Yeah.
remember that. Well, Johnny never stopped working AIW though.
No,
he did.
No, he did.
He
did for a minute.
He did because the first show we did as a tag team was Johnny's first show back. That was like December of 2007.
Yeah.
And he needed people.
And
Yeah, and then they kept booking us,
Yeah.
which is weird. But
that was a crazy show. Yeah, but like Jed cuts this promo like with a pirate sword, and like he's like blah 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 AIW blah blah, and then like New Jack just jumps up and gives like a locker room promo about how like if JT shows up, everyone's just gonna beat his ass in the alley, and I'm just sitting there like wanting no part of this at all.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm gonna go work the door because that's
Yeah.
what they had me doing. Because like I would double duty. I would work the door, and then they would bring me in to get my ass beat by somebody. Because you were there at the early AIW too, to like set up ring and stuff.
If you go back and look at those old tapes or DVDs or whatever, I was security, as unintimidating as that sounds.
Yeah,
right.
None of security was intimidating.
No,
but like,
except for Dave the Potato's brother who smoked cigarettes around ringside. Do you remember that?
Sweet Potato.
Sweet Potato.
Sweet
There
Potato.
you go. Yep.
Oh man, and then AIW started booking me to keep an eye on Dave to make sure like he didn't get hurt. Because they wanted him on the shows, and they're like, well, they actually gave me Gargano's old gimmick when he left. Like I was doing the Karate Kid thing, and like I'm the whole time I'm like, I don't feel comfortable doing this.
Yeah.
But
So Johnny was in the Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
in AIW.
You know, he was feuding with them. So they threw you go from Johnny Gargano, who's like immensely talented, to fucking Rebis.
Who do you
Yeah.
So we'll talk about some AIW stuff in a bit. Let's go back and finish the Bobby Fulton story.
Okay, yeah. So we
got off on a tangent. We do that a lot. That's okay though.
So we're at this at this venue, which is like a church, and like I'm seeing people, and they're like, "All right, man, brother, you're teaming with Bobby Fulton." I'm like, "Awesome." I'm like, "Okay, well, it's gonna be him and Psycho Mike." And he's like, "Yeah, it's me and my new partner, Hell Havoc or Hellraiser or Hell something."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh,
very
okay."
creative.
I'm like, "Oh, is this guy trained?" He's like, "Oh, he knows what he's doing." And like I look over. And there's this guy, like
notably not a yes.
Not this guy, and like he's smoking, like he's got like a half lit like Newport, and like he's bald, and he's wearing like a white T-shirt. He's got a pair of like fucking carpenter pants, jeans, and like a pair of work boots on. And I'm like, there's no fucking way this dude is trained.
Sounds about right. Yep.
And like, and lo and behold, then Greg walks in, and I'm like, what the fuck is Greg doing here?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and Ricky's with him, and I'm like, what the fuck is Ricky doing? Like.
Greg wanted to induct Family Guy into the Hall of Fame and have a laugh that day. That's why I was there. And as we were driving home, I'll never forget, after I do the induction, which is available on the Iron on Wrestling YouTube, Ricky is driving the van, and he starts laughing. And I go, "What are you laughing about?" He goes, "You bought a suit for this." And I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "You don't own any dress clothes." And I'm like, "I know." And he goes, "You weren't sure if you were getting paid." And I was like, "Correct." He's like, "You did this just to troll a guy." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. It's kind of ridiculous when you think about it." So, yep.
So, which leads to the match, which, by the way, is like the main event for, like, obviously, you got Bobby Fulton. You're going to put
the main event.
Yeah.
You and Bobby fucking Fulton.
Right.
All right, and like keep in mind, like I haven't had wrestling gear in a long time, so I find this really ugly orange and green singlet in the bottom of a bag. Yeah, I look like Taz if Taz ate Taz.
Right.
And I got like a pair of like shooter wrestling shoes on, no knee pads, and I'm like, okay, like we're gonna go out there and do this, and like you can see that Bobby Fulton is just disgusted. That
Dude, he was trying to convince himself in the back that they were going to have a regular match.
Yeah.
With Bobby Fulton was
And
in.
by the back, you mean that little closet?
Yeah, the
that
tiny
everyone was
closet
dressing
they were
in.
fucking 10
there was
wrestlers in,
no. It was probably the smallest locker room legitimately I've ever been in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I could think of was smaller was no.
West
That's
Park Party Center at AIW, that was pretty small.
yeah. No, that was smaller than that. Way smaller. But no, like we're on deck and like I'm like in that mind I'm like, okay, Bobby Fulton's involved. They're not gonna put like Bobby Fulton in danger. There's no way that we're not gonna talk this out. And and I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at Bobby Fulton, and I'm like, they gotta come back and we gotta talk this out. And he's like, okay, man, just calm down. Like it's gonna be okay. I'm like, okay, and I'm waiting, and like intermission goes by. I'm like, okay, well intermission, we're gonna talk this out. No. My man goes by. I'm like, okay, well, we're just talking out real quick, and like, then Pantera hits, and I'm like, shit. I'm like, we're not talking this out at all. Yep. And then like, I'm going to walk out with Bobby Fulton, and like, Bobby Modell, Cleveland legend Bobby Modell, who had a heart attack earlier in the day, puts his hand on my chest. He's like, no, brother, I'm going out with them first. And I'm like, okay, that makes zero fucking sense, but okay, well, maybe they're just gonna go out then, like. And
now, just to point out, Bobby Modell, I think we've addressed him on the show before. He plays the gimmick that he's the nephew of Art Modell, who
and he's still doing this gimmick in what 2015?
Yeah,
it had been 2015.
Yeah, so Art Modell famously took the Browns to Baltimore. So this is what he's doing to draw heat, but he's with the baby faces
I'm
right
sure
now.
that got a lot of heat in like 96.
No,
for sure. Well, it got heat in 2006 when Tracy Smothers would talk about it in promos.
Yeah.
My uncle's Art Modell.
Rest in peace, man.
Yeah, man.
Man, I would like to think that we were the babyface, but no, man, we were the heels. They wanted us to work heel in this.
But why was Bobby Modell with the baby faces then?
I don't know.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
He could have cut a promo about bringing the Ravens back.
Yeah.
You could have two teams, brother.
Two Cleveland teams.
They're both gonna suck.
So they go out, and Bobby Fulton's like walking around the ring. He goes to climb in the ring. They attack Bobby Modell.
Did you guys even get in the ring?
No, we did not get in the fucking ring. And we'll get to that in a minute. And then all of a sudden, Hank Hudson's like, as a replacement partner. I'm like, really? Like, that's how we're doing? Okay, fuck it. Handsome Hank knows what he's doing. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And we go out there, and like, I'm like, okay, well, we'll call it in the ring. Like, and obviously, they're gonna have me start out with G, because like he helped break me in. We'll work, like we'll just do like an international or something like that, and just we'll go from there.
You thought he was gonna do international?
No, I thought I was gonna do.
Okay,
I thought I was gonna do.
Because I want to make this clear. Like, that is the hip toss, arm drag,
Japanese
body slam. Because there's no way Gmo is doing any wrestling moves.
No, like it's just gonna be me doing them all.
Okay.
Like that's why
you thought Gmo knew how to take those.
No, he knows how to take them.
Okay,
like, legitimately, right. I shit you not, because that's how I was confident about it. Because I was like, okay, this is one thing I know he can do. We can just start with that.
Gmo thinks an international is when he hits you with a chair that was made in Mexico.
And the match starts. Like, match goes to start. Bell rings, and all of a sudden we hear, "You motherfuckers better get out that ring and take us outside." And I'm like, okay, I guess we're just gonna take this outside.
I'm his manager for this, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, was the reasoning for the fight going outside because Gmo told Bobby Fulton that he was gonna blade?
Yes.
And he didn't want him bleeding in the ring.
Yeah, I believe that was the reason. But nobody told me this. Like, okay. I have no idea. I'm like. And we go to outside, and like we start brawling around the parking lot, and like within like about 40 seconds of brawling with this Hellfire, Hellraiser, Hell Havoc dude, like he's not trained. Like, there's no fucking way that he's trained. So like I just start punching him.
Okay.
And
I'm running around. I was his manager, but I didn't clear this with anyone. I just came out with him.
Yeah, you just came out.
Showed up at the show and came out with him.
And
like, right?
And I'm just trying to not get close enough where I don't get fucking hurt.
But every time I'm hitting this dude, I see him smiling.
Yeah.
So I start hitting him harder. and he gets a chair from somewhere and he picks it up, and I just punch the fucking chair into his face.
I love it.
And then Gmo comes by and hits me with like a kendo stick or something.
Did you blade, or was that hard way?
No, that was neither. Gmo just bled on me.
Oh, okay.
Like the whole time, like he's standing over me.
That sounds safe.
And like he's bleeding, and I'm like, oh god, I'm getting hepatitis. I'm getting hepatitis. Like, this is what's happening here.
Yep.
And like again, like I'm just and Hobo is just he's sliding me fake brass knuckles.
Yeah.
The whole time.
I don't know why they didn't have real ones.
Yeah.
Frankly.
I'm shocked actually.
And like the match is going on, and like I'm like, okay, well they're gonna beat me up. They'll pin me out here. Like there's no way. Like I'm doing everything I can to keep them away from Bobby Fulton. I'm definitely not letting that the untrained dude goes to go after Bobby Fulton. And I jump and grab him by the leg, so they both turn around and stomp me. Like do everything I can. Bobby Fulton eventually leaves. I'm like, oh, thank God, they're not gonna kill Bobby Fulton tonight.
He just straight left.
He just left. Like it was.
They're fighting in the parking lot at this point.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like I'm down the ground. I'm like, okay, well they're gonna pin me off something, right? And I look over to like off in the yonder, and I see Bobby Modell, and he's taking a fucking heart attack after having a heart attack, and they pin him.
Very poetic. Very poetic.
Which made and I'm just saying.
I forgot they pinned him.
They pinned him. They didn't
make any sense.
It makes zero sense at all. They pinned
He was
him
with them.
because I get to the back and I'm like I'm covered.
He walked out with them.
Yeah, I'm covered in Gmo's blood. And like my wife to be is like looking at me like she had never seen me before. Like she's like, "What the fuck did you do with your life before you met me?
Yeah.
You're never doing this again." Like that's like you could. She's like I could see her contemplating her whole relationship.
Yeah, dude.
And like I get to the back and like I'm sitting down. I'm just kind of like taking a minute. And I walk by you and Ricky and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And Ricky's like, "Oh, same match for the last 30 years." And I'm like,
Okay.
"Fucking Bobby Fulton though, man." He's like. And I get back and I'm sitting down, and like Jimo comes in and he's like, "Hey man," he's like, "Wait, we couldn't pin you because we got to keep you strong for next month." And I'm like, "No, that is not happening."
Love that. That's just unbelievable. Aaron's taking the time to take a photo right now. Now, geez, where do I even go from here? Was that your last match?
Yeah, that was my last match ever.
Came out of retirement for
I
that.
came out of retirement because like, this is Rompin' Stompin' Ronnie. Like,
Yeah, man.
I love that dude. That dude was always at every show in Cleveland ever, and he was the nicest guy ever. And I guess he had asked if I wanted to be there. And I'm not going to say no to Ronnie. He's a Vietnam vet, great dude. Again,
Sure.
he's always kind to everybody. Like, just fun guy to be around. And,
Yeah.
like, you know, at that point he was like real wheelchair bound and stuff. And, like, he didn't even recognize me when I showed up.
Wow,
so,
that
like,
sucks.
it was real. And I even wrestled as Juan Jeremy for that. I grew back my terrible mustache.
Love it. That's tremendous. Now, Hobo Joe, talk to me about how you end up getting into professional wrestling.
I was in college. I was in film school, which I did not do anything with.
Yeah,
in
I was
the
going to say, how'd that
subsequent,
pan out
like
for
14 years. I just loved wrestling, man. I kind of got out of it for a minute because the Invasion sucked. But then I started watching Ring of Honor DVDs and shit, and like Impact was good for a minute. You remember like the summer it was good when they didn't have a TV deal?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good summer. And like the Punk angle when he they ended up doing later, in the same angle pretty much in WWE,
Yep.
where he like won the belt and left the promotion.
Uh-huh.
That they fucked up 2 weeks later.
Sure did.
So I just loved wrestling, and I was like, I'm not gonna do anything with this film degree. I still like finished college and did like 2 more years. But I'm like, I think if I could wrestle, I'd probably be pretty happy with my life. I do love wrestling. And I sort of figured that I wouldn't be good at it, which was true.
No,
And
this ain't Walmart. Don't discount yourself.
I'm like, I kind of figured I'll just, like, the only way to get into the wrestling business is probably just train to be a wrestler. And then if I'm shitty at it, maybe I could be a manager or a ref or an announcer or something. At least I'm in the business.
Yeah.
So I started looking for training schools in the area, and I found Cleveland All Pro in JT. And then I went to the show. For some reason, our dream match at the time was Rhino and Samoa Joe, which they booked. And I think Abdullah Butcher was on that same show, too.
Correct.
Yeah.
He
so,
was.
That crap packed. Turner's Hall was packed for that shit.
That was the most people I've ever seen in
Yeah.
that building.
So I had already set up the tryout for like the following Tuesday. So I went to that show. I drove from Bowling Green where I was going to school in Cleveland, like 2 hours. Went to that show, came back the following Tuesday for the tryout. You were there. I think Johnny was there.
Yeah.
JT was there watching tapes and stuff. So they did the tryout. They blew me up. I thought I was going to throw up, but I didn't.
Congratulations.
And, yeah, I ran the rope. I bumped. I actually bumped pretty well first off, which most people don't do. But I did used to practice bumping in my backyard because I read about Mick Foley doing that.
Yeah.
So I had bumped before on, like, grass in the winter. And then that was that. I started training. I would drive up. Like, I had classes I could only go once a week. Like, it was a Tuesday or Thursday. But then in the summer, I would either drive from Bowling Green where I went to school or Youngstown where I lived with my dad over the summer. It was like hour and a half, 2 hours either way.
Yeah.
To the school twice a week. And that was that. And I went with Hobo Joe. That was my backyard wrestling character when I had a trampoline when I was 14.
Yeah.
And I just I've always wanted to be Hobo Joe. I think I wouldn't want to wrestle as anything else.
You didn't even have any other characters in mind?
No, honestly, it was Hobo Joe or nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, I just felt Hobo Joe was in my heart.
Yeah, well, you know what? And listen, so you downed yourself a little bit. You said you never ended up being a good wrestler or making anything of your career, whatever the fuck. But to this day, I cite you as the reason that why I was able to find my comedic sign as a performer. Mm-hmm. Because I remember when we started, you'd think on paper we were put together in Cleveland All Pro Wrestling because you're the homeless guy, I'm the handicapped guy. Maybe that would just make sense. But we were put together because we both sucked and JT wasn't crazy about us, right?
He wanted Tracy Smothers and Gypsy Joe to beat the shit out of us. Gypsy Joe didn't show up.
And that never happened, which I'm kind of thankful it didn't.
And then you had a match with Tracy, and he fucking took care of you and was a nice guy.
He did.
After
JT said, I don't give a fuck, beat the shit out of him because I didn't sell 20 tickets. I only sold 17 or 18.
I never sold a damn ticket because I lived 2 hours fucking away.
Well, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But when I think about you in those early days and we get put together as a tag team, I remember specifically you wanted to come out to as a theme song, Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nothing to Fuck With.
Yeah.
And because I was, this angry kid who wanted people to take me serious, I was like, no, we can't come out to that. It's funny, but we can't come out to that because I wanted to be this serious wrestler. But then, fast forward a couple years and I'm traveling a little bit, I'm getting experience, and we get to do the thing in PWO. I think I had got enough seasoning and been around you enough to understand how we could play this. And I feel and maybe you guys can talk to me about how you feel about this, but when I do seminars and stuff now and I talk about developing a character, I feel like wrestling isn't that much different from life in the sense that every person that you meet or every character you interact with, it builds a layer to who you are as a character. No matter whether that interaction is good or bad, it creates something within you. When you leave that relationship...
You're the sum of your experiences.
Yeah, when you leave that relationship, you take something away from it. And I feel like that first interaction with you and then coming back with you and being a tag team, I felt like when I walked away, I had found... another part of myself that I didn't know how to express before that. Because I think in real life I'm sarcastic and, depending on the time, witty, I guess. But, I think Hobo Joe brought that out of me. So I always bring that up to this day.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah. So,
that was my strength. I'm a naturally funny dude, so...
You are.
And it's a comedic character. You're a fucking hobo, for Christ's sake.
Right. You're not going to be
So, I played up to that.
Yeah.
Did we talk about this? Hobo Joe, you went on to become a stand-up comedian?
I did stand-up for a minute. I was moderately successful, and then I quit because I was very depressed, and it wasn't going anywhere.
Well, you quit wrestling because you didn't think there was any money involved. So that it was
I quit wrestling because I stopped enjoying it.
Well, that too.
Yeah, because I was working at Walmart. I finished college. I had a degree I wasn't obviously not going to do anything with.
Right.
I was working at Walmart. They gave me... when you work at Walmart... I don't know if this is still true. This was 10 years ago. But you got to be available every fucking day. And they don't schedule you more than 30 hours. So pretty much, no, don't have a second fucking job. We're going to pay you slave wages.
Right.
But you get a 10% discount if you want to buy shit at Walmart.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, owe my soda to the company store. But so I said, hey, guys, I need Saturdays off. I wrestle. But, I don't need every Saturday off. I'll let you know if I need a Saturday off. And then just, if you could... And then, so they scheduled me off every Saturday, but I had to open every Sunday. Mm. So I would drive... Me and Rebis were wrestling in the Dayton area as a tag team.
Yeah.
So I would drive from Youngstown to Elyria to pick Rebis up. Or Cleveland for a little bit.
When
I was still going all the way up north, then down to the Dayton area, and then back that same night and going to work at 7 the next morning.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And this was my day off.
So you needed Saturdays and Sundays off, probably.
Is what I needed,
or at least
gonna do that.
Sunday mornings off.
Under no circumstances because you have a whole fucking weekend off.
Yeah.
We need you to change the oil in these cars. Also, we're not going to train you.
Wait. And you were the guy that changed the oil?
I was the guy that changed the oil, but sometimes, because they were so understaffed, I would have to stop mid-oil change and go into the building and mix paint for someone or get them a fishing license.
Yeah.
And then they would complain that I was taking too long to change the oil.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, because I did a fishing license in the middle of it.
Wait, what does creating a fishing license look like?
You just do it. You just take their information and you print out a fish because you need a license to fish.
Right.
You can't just fish.
Yeah.
So maybe you fucking should.
Yeah. You know what? Look,
not here or there. The point is, you make So you just got to go and take their information and print out the license. But the thing is, they don't have anyone covering sporting goods or hardware because there's no one in the fucking store.
Right.
And I was qualified to do this stuff because I'd done it before because I worked in toys first, which was not being like an elf like I thought it was.
Not the same thing, no.
So I just had to do it. So you were going to Walmart on a weekend. There's like 20 people who go to Walmart who think, oh, I'll get my oil changed while I'm shopping. Not knowing it's going to be a 4-hour wait because there's 2 people working in the garage.
Right.
And they're all standing in that waiting room just pissed off staring at you.
Right.
And like, I'm going
Waiting
as
room
fast
is
as I
small,
can.
too.
Yeah.
And let me tell you this. I went to go get my oil change last year at Walmart, and I was only doing it because I had something to buy at Walmart anyways, so I was going to be there. So I pull my car in, and the girl looks, and she goes, I don't know how long this is going to be. And I said,
she was straight up with you.
yeah, and I said, well, I got a couple items that I need to buy. I'm pretty quick with that. So I'm going to gather those up. I'll come back here, and you can let me know, or hopefully it'll already be started, the oil change. So I got my items. I walked back up, and I saw the woman. I waved her down because she was far away. I think she was making fishing licenses or something. And
she's 3 departments over.
So
no one is covering it.
I'm waiting, and she's walking up, and she goes, oh, he gone. I said, who? And she said, oh, that dude that does the oil change? Motherfucker just left. I said, oh, like on break? And she goes, fuck if I know. He gone. She said, he said he don't even like changing oil. She said he threw down his rag. There it is over there. And she pointed at it. And she said, and then he just walked out. He likes to get high. I don't know. Maybe he went.
Why is she saying all of this personal business?
I have
you don't
no
give a shit. She
yeah.
went to Walmart.
Yeah.
No one fucking cares.
She was making a fishing license before I came
told
back.
that to her customer when she was screaming at me. I'm like, hey, we all fucking hate this place too. And she was like, all right. And then we were cool.
Yeah.
So
And I said,
that's how
so
it was-
do you think this guy's coming back? And here's how the story ends. She goes, no.
Go for
And
it.
okay, so that was it.
So that's what
So
I
what-
was dealing with, like, on a Sunday morning when I was concussed.
Yeah.
After being up all night driving for a couple,
Yeah.
And so it became like an obligation instead of something I was looking forward to. I was like,
Sure.
fuck, it's my day off and I gotta wrestle again. Now I started fucking a bitch down there.
Oh.
So I wrestled for a few more months. But then I was done.
Oh, look, there is more to that story than he's telling, because I remember he was starting to take the Sundays off, so we would stay down there and drink.
Well, yeah,
A
if I
lot.
was fucking her, I would call up the next day.
Yeah, like we would drink a lot, and like the first weekend we're down there.
This was Tommy Blaze, his promotion.
DCW,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
I mean, it's if you've seen tape, it's pretty good. It's not.
I wrestled the Chris down there.
Oh,
back
okay,
in the day.
yeah.
This was
Me and
after
Matt
the Chris were
Justice.
gone. I don't know if they had a
Oh
falling
yeah,
out.
yeah. I
They
think
were out
well
of it.
because that dude like would claim that he was the Chris dad.
Yeah.
But then I found out
He
years
was
later
he was like their
he
stepdad or something.
Was he?
Yeah, he was like their stepdad.
I think I remember Jake telling me like he wasn't even their any relation at all. He would just say that he's their
Well,
dad.
no, because they had another son
El
that we
Rey.
would work as part of it. He was in a tag team, and he told me that Jake Chris cut his nipples off with pliers.
Yeah, and we saw the nipple, and it was.
Yeah, he didn't have nipples.
And I
What?
actually
Yeah,
went up
oh,
to.
breaking story.
Yeah, I actually
No,
went
it was
up,
Dave, not Jake.
Okay,
but
that
I
makes
remember-
more sense.
Yeah.
I remember going
sorry.
going up to them at
Jake was always cool with me.
at PWO and being like, "Hey, why'd you pull off El Rey's nipple?" And he's like, "I didn't pull it off. He backed up after I had it in the pliers."
So it was an accident.
Yeah, it was an accident. He
Boy.
accidentally had his nipple removed. But like he was their shoot brother, right? He was like a half brother.
I thought he was their brother because Tommy was his dad, but if Tommy wasn't his dad, maybe he wasn't their brother.
He made it seem like
I
they was
assumed
like,
that trampoline that I fucked that girl on was the trampoline that Irish Airborne had trained on, but
A
maybe not.
trampoline?
yeah, it was trampoline.
It was a party at Tommy Blaze's house after the show.
Yeah, and like part of the deal was like we got it was like $40,
We didn't
and
get paid much, bro.
yeah, it was like $40 and like as much
and I
beer
drove
as we
there
could.
from across state.
Yeah. And as much beer as we could drink because we had Benny Boone with us too.
Boone was on the show.
Yeah,
he
we
came down
forced-
sometimes. We'd pick him up and he'd meet us halfway. He'd meet us in Beaver Dam.
No, we go to his house though too because
Sometimes we would, but a lot of times we'd meet him halfway because it was out of the way.
Benny Boone met you in Beavertown?
Beaverton.
Beaver Dam. It's like where two highways meet. There's a travel plaza.
Yeah, well, I remember Benjamin Boone because he gets all the poon.
That's true. All of us. And no, I got some poon that night.
Yeah, you did. Well, here's the thing is, we go and like
I'm gonna tell the story wrong, and then I'm gonna fix it.
No, I'm not gonna tell the story wrong. I was there. I lived
You
it.
always tell the story wrong.
Look, I get shit wrecked because again they're like as much beer as you want, and I was like, oh okay. as much beer as I want. And you've seen me drink beer. Like, I don't stop.
Yeah.
And I end up passing out after drinking, like, a case and a half, 2 cases.
You drank a lot of beer.
Dude,
I wasn't keeping track.
Dude, like, it was a ridiculous amount of beer. And, like, it's like the birds start chirping about 7:30 in the morning, and I start waking up. I hate that. And I look over, and Hobo Joe's laying next to me, and there's something...
We're all sleeping on, like, mattresses on the floor.
And there's something going on underneath the blanket, like, right by us, and, like, Hobo Joe just goes... And I look down, and I see this happening.
Yeah.
He's just getting a hand job.
This is an audio podcast, Rebis.
Oh,
sorry. There's a jerk-off motion happening.
I didn't know that you needed to jerk off Hobo Joe with no cameras on to explain what was happening 10 years
she
ago.
Was rubbing his head and but she's jerking him off.
You had a camera down there. It was good. She knew what she was doing.
Yeah, and I just feel it all happening because our legs are touching. Like we're
like
right next to each other,
and
I'm just trying to be a good bro, and I just kind of close my eyes and roll back over.
Yeah, she was great, man. She was really nice.
Hobo, you should have done the right thing there and then taken her hand and placed it on Rebis's dick.
The bait and switch.
The master bait and switch.
Really
Whatever happened to that?
Well, she had a boyfriend. And he was like joining the army, so she felt bad about cheating on him. And then he beat the shit out of her.
Oh.
And she had to go to the hospital. So
boy.
we actually kept in touch for a while, like around till I got married, and I was like, I gotta stop doing this. And,
It seems like a good decision.
Your wife listen to the podcast at all?
She might, I don't know.
Okay.
I hope mine doesn't.
Okay.
Rebis, you got married?
Yeah, man.
Oh, congratulations.
2 years now, and I adopted my niece and nephew. Oh. Like, I'm all responsible and shit now, and I was clearly the most irresponsible person you knew.
No, you were
I'm
too hard on yourself.
You would never strike me as like an.
Remember that time you ate the hottest chicken wings?
Dude,
or was that many times?
Dude, I do that all the time.
It was for AIW. We were at like the Funky Frog or one of those weird places.
And then
Mentor on the Lake.
And then I got beat up by Cobra Kai.
Oh my God! Weren't you teaming with Brandon X and somebody?
No, Brandon X came out to save me, and then after they saved me, Brandon X worked a match with Judge Crush. He worked his match with Judge Crush, and you were gonna show. It was at the Blue Moose.
Okay.
And Greg was supposed to be there, and it was at the beginning of the AIW war. And they're like, "Hey, go cut the promo that Greg would cut." And I had never met you before, and I was like, "Well, what's the promo that you're disabled?" What?
Okay. We lost the kid with cerebral palsy.
Yeah. And they're like, hey, you need to like go out there and say that you're tired of getting bullied and stuff like that. And then then Revelation 13 comes out and just kicks my goddamn face off.
Yeah.
Because they were like, okay, you're gonna drop on the second forum, and I didn't know that they had meant like they were gonna whip me in the corner and give me 2 forums. I thought they were gonna boom boom. I was gonna drop and they were gonna but like the first one, they whipped me in the corner. After they do the thing, I'm like, okay, I think I'm down. And Vincent Nothing comes and boots me like in the face.
Yeah.
And like I dropped then because I had been booted in the face and I had no other choice.
Yeah.
And then like Thorne comes in and like the other side and just whaps the other side of my face off. I remember like stumbling to the back and like I'm like going and sitting down and Loki walks by and he says, "Good shit."
I like the way they hit you for real.
Yeah, and at the end of that.
And I'm like, cool.
Yeah, well, Loki, I mean, he shook hands for real.
Oh yeah, man.
He didn't take it easy on anybody for anything. Like,
no, he was.
You ever shook his hand, Greg?
Yes.
That's what happened to her.
That's what happened to her. Yeah, you son of a bitch.
I believe that was a show after he had worked Kano, and like Kano was like talking shit on ringside about how like, he's not in the main this time, and like Loki got him in the ring and made him work out with them like before the show when they were doing like Hindu spots.
Yeah.
Oh,
him and Greg's boy, Tyrone.
Yeah,
Tarver. Yeah, we go way back. Me and him.
Remember that show?
SummerSlam main eventer, Michael Tyrone.
Well, he doesn't work there anymore. Hobo, I don't know if you want to address this, but I feel like you might be our first bisexual guest on the show.
Oh, I knew you were going to tell this story.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. There's no way you weren't going to bring it up.
What story am I talking about?
So we were driving back from Philly. Me, you, and Johnny. I think Facade with us, but we'd already dropped him off in Pittsburgh. This was like the last leg.
He was gone. I was sleeping.
Yeah, you were sleeping back. I was driving. Johnny was in the passenger because he doesn't fucking drive.
Yes.
And me and Johnny are talking. And I start talking about how I like to, when I'm jerking off, before I watch like some man lady sex like a heterosexual. I like to watch just a man solo go at it. Just sort of work myself up. You know?
Okay.
Like I am stroking his big cock. And
Yeah. Why are you looking deep into my eyes on this? You've told a million stories already, and you ain't looked dead into my eyes in any of them until right right now.
I'm thinking I'm stroking my big cock, right?
Okay.
You know, before I go into the man lady sex, and that's when I bust.
Well, so Johnny wakes me up and he goes, Greg, listen to what Hobo Joe is saying. So then you reiterate,
exactly what I just said.
What you just said, and I said, yeah, it sounds like you might also be into guys, man. Which is, look, if that's what you're into, that's perfectly okay.
Ricky all the time talks about how he loves looking at a penis.
Oh, penises are beautiful, man. They're very erotic. And then the argument was like, how gay am I?
Yeah,
and you guys thought I was like 60% gay, and I'm like, dude, that's way too much. It's a sliding scale.
Yeah. Again,
I'm between 10 and 30, probably.
Yeah, you can.
Sometimes you're a little bit higher.
But like the more we pressed you, like the more the percentage slightly went up.
Yeah.
So
I think you talked me up to like 35.
So my favorite part of this story though is pretty soon after that we had a PWO show where we had a locker room meeting that for some reason also included Nate Matson and his wife.
Yeah.
And so I think at some point,
they're both great.
Well, Nate Matson was a part of PWO.
Yeah.
Wife wasn't though.
Right.
But she was there. She would go with them on the show.
Right.
Yeah, I get it.
And for whatever reason, I
if
think
they still, I don't know, they're probably still together.
They're still together. Yeah,
Good
they've
for
been
them.
happily married for a long time. And so I think
me.
I had to drive him back to Detroit when he broke his fucking ankle.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Jesus, that's Bobby did that, right?
Bobby did that on a monkey flip.
Yep.
He over-rotated on the monkey flip. Nate did and broke his ankle, and then he left the ring, limped out. And then I'm in the ring with Bobby and Benny Boone. I'm the veteran in the match now, and I got to put it all together.
Yeah.
So me and Ben Boone have like the worst botch in history. Didn't make Botchamania.
I know you complained about that for a long
Didn't make
time.
Botchamania. Then it airs 5 weeks in a row on Sports Time Ohio.
Yeah, go figure, man.
Meanwhile, the best match ever had with Lionel Knight
that doesn't exist anymore.
airs once in a clip format.
Yes, we'll talk about that in a second. So we're in the locker room, and I think Wally gives a locker room meeting and goes, "Does anybody else need to say anything?" And Johnny said, "Yeah, well, I've got something I want to say." And so then me and him walk forward and we go, "Listen, we have to ask you guys a question."
I don't remember this.
And so in front of the whole locker room, because I said it, because Johnny's not going to say it because
Yeah.
he's a weirdo. I said, we were having this road trip and we reiterated the story about you and what you said in the car. And it's like, now we think that means Hobo Joe also likes men. So we think that he's 100% into men. How many of you do not think, based on what we just told you, that Hobo Joe does not like men? And no one raised their hand. And how many of you do think that Hobo Joe is into men? And everybody, including Nate Matson's wife, raised their hand. And I found that to be the most hilarious part of that interaction there. So,
Yeah, I like another locker room story about Hobo Joe,
which one?
where the time that he said, "We got a money mark that ain't got no fucking money."
Yeah, Mr. Briggs. Mr. Briggs.
That was a reoccurring problem with PWO. None of our money marks had any cash.
Yeah.
Finally, we got what's-his-face to book Nash.
That was a guy from WrestleZone.
Yeah.
But that didn't pan out either, because if you recall, that guy from WrestleZone, I forget his name, but he was in a
Just
partner.
in the bar.
No.
Okay.
No, it was the guy above him,
The
right?
guy that was above Justin
okay.
LeBar, he was going to pay for, I think, half of Kevin Nash.
Yeah. Did
So-
that fall through?
Well, Kevin Nash was $10,000, okay,
Uh-huh.
which is a lot, and we
Yeah.
probably exaggerated his fee because I don't think every indie show that he's been on since they're paying him $10,000 to appear. But
And this was like a week before he went back to the Fed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this, I remember him getting $3,000. If that's not true, then okay.
no,
Okay.
$10,000, and so
It's a car.
The-
It's a whole car for Kevin Nash.
the WrestleZone guy got into an argument with Wally
Of
because I think he wanted to charge like a bunch of money for the VIP meet and greet and stuff because they had charged X amount of dollars or something for VIP meet and greet during WrestleMania weekend. And Wally's argument was, well, this isn't WrestleMania.
That's fair.
And this is the type of prices that we need to charge. And this dude was like, no, we need to charge this. And then the dude just pulled his half of the money. So Wally had to pay the whole $10,000
Jesus fucking
for Kevin Nash, which meant he needed to get a forward from the main sponsor, Eastside Westside Metals. Turn that trash into cash.
God damn, I hope they recycle a lot of metal that year.
Turn that Nash into cash.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they used to pay, I think, the amount of money they paid Wally every month, which looking back at it, I don't know how the fuck PWO was always so broke. I'm pretty sure they paid $1,500 to Wally a month.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had to forward him like 4 or 5 months of sponsorship money so he could afford to follow through on the Kevin Nash announcement.
Yeah.
So that was a whole clusterfuck.
Jesus, I thought they finally had a money mark. I never heard that story.
No. Well, do you remember at the end when he brought in, I think we just talked about this a couple days ago, they brought in not Mike Mercer. Mike Mercer was a guy that was partners with the Jacobs, and they own Jacobs Field. He came in for a second to run shows, but then there was the guy after that was part of the prisons. What was his name?
Yeah, those prison shows.
I
were
don't
fun.
remember.
Prison shows were awesome, but
Mark
Zarenko. Mark
yeah.
Zarenko came in, and he was going to be the money mark for the show. Do you remember his locker room speech at all? Where he talked about how...
I remember this dude, but I don't remember anything. This might have been... I was pretty much 1 foot out the door at this point.
For sure. He cuts his promo because Wally's like, you can tell the guys whatever you want to say. And he ends up saying like, I don't know much about wrestling, but I do own a boat, and I like to go fishing. And if any of you guys would ever like to go fishing with me, just let me know. So who speaks up? Mr. RBI. In front of the whole locker room, he goes, oh, wow, I love fishing and blah, blah. And then like him and RBI are having this interaction in front of everybody.
While the meeting's going on?
Yes, and I'm like, what is
And
happening
if this
right
guy
now?
is, in fact, the new benefactor of PWO Prime Wrestling, then that means that Mr. RBI is probably in line for a title shot. Or a run, a push with the belt.
I would have been fine with that.
Well, he was going to be the man called Swing if we didn't shut down. He was going to paint his face.
That's fantastic.
And feud with the Megalomaniacs.
Like Abe Knuckleball Schwartz?
Kind of, but the stipulation was he had to paint his face himself because we were pretty positive that he couldn't make it look good.
Yeah.
Like literally, the last resolution, the last show, we were trying to set it up to where he was going to be the man called Swing and do something with the Megalomaniacs. But that day, he kept saying, oh, wow, okay, I'm going to get Gory to paint my face. I'm like, no, Gory is not allowed to paint your face.
He knows
and
what
then,
he's doing.
And then I went up to Gory and I said, Gory, if he comes up to you asking you to paint his face, do not do it. Tell him he's got to do it himself because we want it to look bad. And so he wouldn't.
Yeah,
do it
but I don't
himself.
think it'd be a big difference if Gory painted it or if RBI.
Wow, shooting.
What? Come on.
I'm just.
Let's not bullshit the people
I'm
here.
not bullshitting anybody. I didn't say.
What,
anything.
you like the way Gory painted his face?
I didn't say yay or nay. I
like Gory as an individual.
Sure.
I don't care for the way he paints his face with those crayons.
I'm going to say this peak Gory is when he's doing the Clockwork Orange thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why he ever quit doing that. That was awesome.
I don't even
I don't even
remember.
know what
Dude,
that
for
means.
for like a hot minute.
You've never seen the film A Clockwork Orange?
Yes, but I
Like,
haven't.
he was doing that gimmick for like a minute.
Stanley Kubrick, 1971.
Yeah. And like he'd wear like the white suit and he had the codpiece and it was awesome. And then like he just stopped doing it for no reason. I don't know why.
I think because if you're doing a Clockwork Orange gimmick, that's eventually going to lead to a rape angle. Just
that makes
naturally.
sense. Okay.
And that's probably a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not for the best. Hobo, when you think of PWO, what is the most unintentionally hilarious thing that you remember from PWO? Because here's my thing. I think we didn't realize what we had at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, people talk to me about PWO. I've told this story a bunch of times on the show. A couple years ago, I worked a show in Oakland. And
Oakland, California.
Oh, yes, and I had a line of people
Yeah.
waiting to meet me, and like 10 people knew me just from Pro Wrestling Ohio.
Yeah. No, it was everywhere.
But it pissed me off. Like I should have been happy, but I was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, we had something." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like there were so many blunders in PWO. What do you think was the biggest blunder?
God, that's hard to say. There was that Jimmy DeMarco angle.
Oh, that was a pretty big blunder. Yeah.
That was gold. Fuck
We
you
aired.
guys.
It was your brother who wrestled for a minute. I don't know if he still is. You ended up wrestling eventually.
Still wrestling, Zach Thomas.
Yeah, and so the gimmick was he was like stalking your brother to get into your head.
Yep.
But they did a very to catch a predator like segment.
Yeah, and by a very like To Catch a Predator, it was a To Catch a Predator segment
Yeah,
for sure.
With Joe Dombrowski as Chris Hansen.
And it was not well done.
Not well done, and it led to some complaints, which I don't know if they were legit or not. If someone was just calling Sports Somehow to fuck with us, or if someone really got upset.
I feel like someone probably did really get upset. I mean, it's a weird thing to air at 10
and then
p.m.
they had to dump the angle.
Yeah. And I barely had a match on Resolution 2.
But then when you did have a match with Fontaine's Freaks,
I did.
And then Bobby busted up his teeth, and that led to the feud we had, where we ended up teaming. And
Yes, and
so we got something out of it.
I would say that was.
I don't remember DeMarco wasn't even on the show, right?
Jimmy was not.
Yeah.
He never came back.
Yeah, no, that sucked because DeMarco was gold for a minute, man.
I did really enjoy Jimmy DeMarco.
Yeah.
He originally was going to get the role that Fontaine ended up getting, where he was going to be like the shooty heel. You know what I'm saying? But like, I think it worked out.
No, Fontaine was
Didn't he
that.
start off wearing a mask for a minute?
Yeah, he did.
What, Jimmy?
No,
Yeah.
DeMarco was like a masked assailant or something.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I don't remember.
Was it, maybe the original was gonna be? He was the one attacking Johnny Gargano.
No, it was always supposed to be Shima Zion originally.
Yeah, I do remember
Then
that because
Shima
I
got
pitched
signed.
Shima going to winning the belt and going to strip clubs.
Yeah.
And getting lap dances with the belt. Like he would buy a lap dance for the championship belt.
This would be DJZ and Impact and what's his name now in NXT?
I think it's some dumb name. They give him like shitty NXT names.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix or
Joaquin
something.
Wild.
Yeah.
Flippy McFlipperson.
Yeah. Hey, what are you calling him, a flippy guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh no.
Till the day he died.
Sheba could work though.
Oh yeah, he's amazing. I mean, like I say, he's not, but he flips. He can flip like a motherfucker.
He can flip. I think that match at Resolution 3 is one of my favorite things I ever did in PWO. That tag match, me and you versus Sex Appeal.
Was that the third one or the fourth one?
Resolution 3. Resolution 4, we were in a 4-way tag.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where we didn't do much of anything.
No, I remember, I think I was out of position for, like, Flip Kendrick did some crazy splash on me, and it hurt like the son of a bitch.
Oh,
I think I was supposed to be closer to the ropes.
Yeah.
So he was just, fuck it, he flipped and he landed on me.
Yeah, that was Resolution 4.
Was that 4?
Yeah,
And
Resolution
I was
3.
going to do my last
I-
match, you convinced me to do one more.
Yeah.
That was the angle where Crimson and his gang beat me up.
Yes.
I was supposed to blade, but I fucked up, and when I put the blade in my wrist tape,
Hmm.
the wrist tape was covering the blade part, so I kept trying to blade myself,
Oh.
and I couldn't cut.
We could use stickers. You know, you just
Yeah, I
put
know,
the
dude.
angle in, and
That's my biggest regret is I didn't bleed everywhere in my last match.
Yeah.
Was that your last match? I thought we did that tag team thing.
No, that was my last. It was supposed to be my last match. I ended up being in the JT Memorial Battle Royal.
Oh yeah.
And then I did that backyard match.
You did a backyard match.
I did a backyard match. I told you about that earlier. And the guy would book me in his backyard.
Yeah.
It was fucking Chico Simone's buddy.
I'm sorry.
Man, Chico Simone was
Just cheating Chico?
Cheating Chico Simone.
Oh,
Yeah.
Chico
you gotta say the
Simone.
whole thing.
Cheating Chico Simone's buddy would book me in his backyard. He'd pay me like $20, but then he'd like smoke me out and give me all the beer I could drink and let me watch WrestleMania.
That was very kind.
Whatever,
of him.
WrestleMania 26, I think. The one with the Cena on the... No, it would have been 28.
You know, I'm gonna
29. Cena
say-
and The Rock,
say-
second match.
In retrospect, we probably should ask for more money than we did beer and weed.
You never worked there.
No, just in general, we always got paid in beer. Or I got paid in beer a lot.
They paid me a shitload the first time because he didn't know what people got paid.
Oh.
And that's the one he rented Wally's ring for.
Oh.
And he had a ring in his bed. That was the 10-year anniversary of his backyard promotion. I was the big star he brought in.
I
to work
do
him in the
vaguely
band.
remember this now.
I got that whole thing on DVD and I did commentary for the whole match.
I would love to
Cheating
see
Chico
this.
Simone had a 45-minute ladder match.
No,
He
that's
had a
on this?
45 ladder. He bumped off the ladder on the dude's driveway. I thought he was dead.
I don't know Chico Simone,
Yeah.
but he's my favorite wrestler.
So hold on, wait. He should
now.
be, but Cheating Chico
Says
Simone
you.
was a guy who he used to backyard.
I hand this guy $1 million gimmick and he didn't use it.
his name in the backyard was, I think, the Night Stalker or the Dark Stalker,
Some fucking-
and so he came into training and whatever. He was a nice enough guy, but he just was not good. He was like one of many dudes that came.
Johnny
into
Gargano
PWO.
trained a lot of yarders.
He did. He really did, and he wasn't good. And so Hobo Joe, you come up with this gimmick for him.
Yeah, I don't know how I thought of it. Well, no, you had Chico Simone baseball card that I think Wally
Yeah,
had
we
given you.
did,
Because
yeah.
Chico Simone was a player for the Indians, maybe?
Yes.
Back in the day. It was like
Yeah.
old ass
What?
baseball card.
Yeah. Do you remember Chico Simone?
No, and I'm the biggest Indians fan in the room right now.
He spelled it Salmon, like salmon, but it was spelled out Simone.
I'm gonna look it up.
I'm
Yeah.
already doing it.
So he,
Wow. Panamanian baseball player.
yeah, right? He was like some
Oh, he
South-
definitely played for the tribe.
There you go.
Yeah, so we had this baseball card, and then you guys started throwing the name Chico Simone.
Oh,
around.
hold on.
And which
Sorry,
is-
hold
yeah.
on. His real name is Rutherford Eduardo Chico Simone.
Why would
That's
you not want to be called
fantastic.
Rutherford?
I know, right?
That's
Ruthless
baller,
Rough.
dude.
Yeah.
So we're throwing the name Chico Simone around, which is a brilliant name.
Yeah.
And I start trying to think of it. I need a nickname. I think first I had Ruthless Chico Simone.
Not as good.
Then I'm like, no, I need to be alliterative.
Yeah.
Cheating Chico Simone.
Yeah.
So he cheats all the time. It's like an Eddie Guerrero thing, you know? He throws the thing on the chair, takes a bump. So the whole plan was him to feud with Tom Dunn. So, because Tom Dunn knows he's cheating. Tom Dunn knows he's cheating. His name's Cheating Chico Simone.
Oh, okay.
Right? So he's like, I'm going to catch you cheating, Chico. I'm going to catch
Tom
you
Dunn
cheating.
is the 8-foot referee.
Yeah.
The Dundertaker.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and then it goes on. He keeps cheating. And finally, it would end with Tom Dunn chokeslamming him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, dude, you're Chico Simone.
Yep.
And then he ended up wrestling as like Tristan Tyler or something stupid.
That is correct. And he would team with Sean Blaze, so they were like, what, Simply Tristan or
Yeah.
something?
Or Tristan Sexy.
So I'm like, dude, fuck you. You're not Chico anymore. So then I give the gimmick to someone else. I gave it to Hippie Bill.
Yeah.
And he started wrestling as, it was Rock Lobster, but like in Spanish, under a lobster mask.
Yeah.
So he didn't take it either. 2 people I tried to give this $1 million gimmick to.
Really dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Hate it.
That was a gimmick to print money.
Mm-hmm. I'm still pissed about that.
What, between the both of you, what's the biggest payday you guys ever made in wrestling? Because you mentioned the beer and weed payments. What's the biggest amount of money?
Not much, dude. Maybe $60.
$60 ain't bad.
Yeah.
I mean, for both of you? So you each
No,
got
that
30?
was each.
No, that was each.
You guys got 60 each?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
we
we
were driving across this. I think he only paid us 40.
No, the one time he paid us 60 because like we wrestled like a bunch in one night. We did that like day carnival.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he gave us 60 for that like
That's a promoter?
We set up a ring at
Tommy
a
Blaze.
carnival
okay.
and had like 3 matches in a row just for anyone who was walking
I can't
by.
imagine anybody
That was the
would
weekend
want
Michael
you guys
Jackson
to wrestle 3 matches.
Dude, like and then we went and worked like another show.
And we worked a real show later
Yeah,
that
we
night.
worked- And like the dude like I think our first time down there.
Yeah.
Like
Down where?
Down in Piqua, Ohio, Dayton area.
That's not
Yeah.
the joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
They did shows in the Dayton region, like Piqua, Springfield.
Yeah. Well, we're down there and
Down where?
down where?
He says down south when he talks about it, like we were in fucking
Yeah.
It
I wish I was.
it was
When we
Southwest
were working the
Ohio.
Memphis territory.
I wish. The dreams. We go down there and like our first match was solid, but like I super botched the finish. Like I whiffed on like a little mini super kick. Like the finish was like Hobo Joe and I get in either corner and we
did the DIY gimmick.
Yeah.
We stole it from them before they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like he tunes up the band, kicks him in the shin, and then like,
sweet shin music.
and it was
Good
my
luck.
first time down there, so I'm like, oh okay, I don't want to hurt this guy, so I'm gonna be super light, and I end up like missing by like 3 inches, but it was like a noticeable 3 inches.
Yeah.
And like he still bumped for me, which was like, okay, good for you. And like the promoter again thought we were the greatest thing ever, and just kept bringing us down there.
Put the belts on
I'd,
his feet,
I'd
Yeah.
like to say that my last girlfriend said that I had a noticeable 3 inches.
The most money I ever made with the change cup was like $10.
That's pretty good, though.
Yeah, it was a $10 bill.
When we first started,
Wait.
we were jealous of the
For
gimmick.
you and who?
Just me with the change cup.
Yeah, but what about when you and I were together?
We never got that much money.
Oh, we would get a piece of string.
Yeah, no.
That's not
They didn't
money.
like you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but that was great.
You know what was best? We did one where we went to the crowd who was waiting to come
I know.
in, and we went up. It was Ben Booth's dad,
Yep.
and you're like, "Why don't you give me anything?" And he points at me, he says, "Because he's my hero."
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
Hell yeah!
And then
Booth's dad
somebody
coming
gave me
through.
their sobriety coin and
Yes.
told me, so, you know, I don't know if you guys know, but like in AA, you get like a little sobriety coin
Yeah.
or whatever. And somebody put that in my cup and was like, here, this is a lesson for you. And I was like, okay. And then we got to the back and I looked and I was like, man, somebody knows I'm that bad off. And I remember watching the video of me and Hobo, and there's a spot like maybe 48 seconds in or something like that, or 148 or something. I remember looking and I saw my eyes, and I remember Roddy Piper saying, you can always look at somebody's eyes and tell how bad off they are. And he said, that's the sickness. That's the sickness that all the wrestlers get that is killing this whole business. He said, if you see that in somebody's eyes, they will be dead within a few years. And I looked and I saw, and I knew exactly what he was talking about. I said, okay, I probably need to get some help now. I didn't.
It's very sad.
Not that day,
Yeah.
but eventually I did.
There's something I wanted to talk about because we're going to be wrapping up shortly. We've been talking for almost 2 hours. This is crazy.
Yeah,
It's just flown by.
shit.
No, not at all.
Boys, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do, maybe a bonus or
We
something.
got to do something, or bring these guys back. But
These guys haven't even had edibles yet.
What? There's edibles?
huh? That's not a thing that
I mean,
we
you just
have
mean
here.
in general?
General?
That's right. Greg likes to.
Yeah, we definitely.
Greg likes to provide guests with edibles.
That's not true. What
Word,
are you,
dude.
how
I'm
much
down.
have you been drinking
Can we
tonight?
do this every month?
Yeah.
I only had like
coming
3.
back
I
here.
had to go pick up a boy from baseball practice.
That was after 2.
Anyways, this past Sunday was Mother's Day.
Oh.
Oh,
And,
word. Okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Okay, yeah, you take a piss break. You're going to be important to this, Hobo.
No, I'll come back.
No, I'll come back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
wait.
go to the bathroom for a
The bathroom is okay.
Oh.
So, Rebis, you have something very much in common with Aaron and I.
I do. My mother is in fact dead. She overdosed on crack cocaine.
Uh-huh.
It's it's not something to joke around about.
Sure.
But man, are we about to?
We have some morbid senses of humor here. So this is where people stop listening to the podcast. If you're in the pro wrestling or entertainment industry, you probably realize how important it is to have merchandise. Not only does it help you when it comes to bringing in additional revenue for yourself, but the look and feel of merch is a representation of the brand you're building. So you definitely don't want it to suck. Now you're probably asking yourself, well, where can I find a reliable and reputable artist that'll make me a solid t-shirt or pin design that'll make me look and feel like a superstar? Well, I've got the answer for you. Of the Dead Designs. Of the Dead Designs is a one-man merch company ran by artist Juan Ortiz. Now his name may not be familiar to you, but his artwork should be, because you've likely seen his designs on TV and Hot Topic, and he's created some of the highest-selling shirt designs in pro wrestling tees history. Of the Dead Designs has created artwork for the biggest names in WWE, AEW, ROH, Impact, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and beyond. I'm talking guys like Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, CM Punk, The Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Road Warrior, Animal, the Lucha Brothers, Jungle Boy, even yours truly. Now you're probably saying, whoa, I'm not in the league of the Young Bucks or Hulk Hogan, brother. There's no way I can afford artwork from Of the Dead Designs. Well, I'm here to tell you you're wrong. Because Of the Dead Designs is affordable. Juan isn't just looking to create art for the superstars of today. He wants to make it for the superstars of tomorrow as well. And look, Of the Dead Designs doesn't just do artwork for wrestlers. He'll create merch for your band, your podcast, your dance troupe, your kids' pee-wee football team, your daughter's school bake sale. Heck, got a girl that you're afraid to talk to, but you stalk on Instagram and like all of her photos at around 2 or 3 a.m. and you've been hoping that she get the hint like, hey, I really like you, but she has yet to slide in your DMs, and now you think, well, I got to take it to the next level, so you get Of the Dead Designs to use a photo of her and her ex-boyfriend as a reference to create artwork, but you replace the ex's face with your face and then present this custom artwork to the chick with hopes that she'll kiss you directly on the lips. Of the Dead Designs will do that for you. With over 14 years of experience and a portfolio of clients that speaks for itself, Of the Dead Designs will make your artwork at a reasonable price. And hey, if you mention this ad, you'll save $10 on your first design. Of the Dead Designs still has spots open for 2020, so you gotta act fast. If you're interested in a design, contact Of the Dead Designs right now on Instagram at ofthedead209, on Facebook at facebook.com/ofthedeaddesigns, or at his website, ofthedead.weebly.com. Of the Dead Designs, bringing artwork to life. We will return to the Iron on Wrestling podcast in just a moment, but I wanted to take a couple minutes of this time to let you guys know that if you didn't realize it already, Iron on Wrestling is a DIY project. That's right, I'm recording all this myself. I'm editing it in-house all by myself. I'm coming up with the segments and the content, and I'm making sure that each and every Wednesday, by investing countless hours of my personal time, you guys have a new, unique, and entertaining episode blasting into your ear holes. So I hope you don't mind that for a few minutes each episode, you have to deal with a little bit of advertising. Because, quite frankly, I gotta pay those bills somehow. But you know, I don't just pick anyone to be an advertiser on the podcast. When I choose an advertiser for the show, I want to make sure that it's someone that can bring you, the listener, value. I often talk about Of the Dead Designs and my good buddy Juan Ortiz, who can create you
a unique logo or t-shirt design for your personal brand. But once that t-shirt design is made, who's going to print it for you? Well, that's where Jesse Massey and SBS Printing comes in. Jesse is a good friend of mine, and much like me in this podcast, he's DIY. For over 10 years, Jesse has been printing t-shirts and hoodies in the comfort of his own home, and he's been the official t-shirt printer for guys like myself, Atticus Koger, Eddie Only, Ricky Shane Page, basically all the 440 guys. My favorite thing about Jesse Massey is the quick turnaround time. When I go to Jesse and I need a shirt design printed right away, I know that he'll have it ready for me within 3 to 5 days, sometimes even quicker. And on top of that, he's affordable. Jesse and SBS can print one color shirt designs for as low as $5. $5. Where are you going to find another deal like that? Now you're probably thinking at a price like that, there's no way these could be quality, long-lasting prints. Wrong. They're super high quality and they're going to last you a lifetime. Jesse and SBS can print you t-shirts, zip-up hoodies, sweaters, and so much more. I encourage you to hit up Jesse right now. Shoot him an email at antisepticmaxrock@gmail.com. That's ANTISEPTIC maxrock@gmail.com. With Jesse Massey and SBS, you're going to get the best. That's no BS.
Well, over on Patreon, you just got a really special bonus. We went about a half hour and did a bad mother off. And who is victorious? You don't know unless you're on patreon.com/irononwrestling, where you can get a buttload of bonus content starting at $3, and we'll follow you back on social media. So check that out. It's worth your time, I hope.
Hey,
that was worth
Wait,
it.
let me ask this
My time
question.
is not valuable.
We did not ask this question during this mom off.
Sure.
What did your mom die of, Greg?
Drug overdose.
Rebis?
Also a drug overdose.
COPD. Listen to Hobo Joe. Pop for my mom dying of COPD. It's so funny.
Oh, hilarious.
Oh, my Jesus.
My mother is alive and well. I need to call her.
You should give
Tell her
a
that I
call.
love her.
Yes. If you have a mother that was in your life and was a good person, you should call her and tell her how much you appreciate her.
And if they weren't, try to get them the help that you can.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's very important.
Yeah, COPD serious.
Yeah. So seriously funny, right, Hobo? All right.
Hey-o.
But I've talked about this before. You know, I was in that hospice with her, with my mom, when she was, just 12 hours from dying. And I held her hand and I said, "It's okay. Go ahead and die." And she was like shaking her head no. And I was like, "No, we're okay now. Go ahead and die."
Did you put her Transformers in a trash bag in front of her?
And I kept saying this, and I kept thinking, what a shitty person I am. And I said, nah, you know what? I think I'm okay with living the rest of my life knowing that my mom ain't around. I think that's what I need. However, you ever stop at a stoplight or something and you look in a vehicle next to you, or you're at the grocery store and you see somebody and it looks like your mother?
Yeah, that's the worst.
Does it happen? Because it happens to me far too frequently.
Yeah. There's a couple ladies that have reminded me of my mom.
Ugh.
It's real weird. But
Hobo, anybody remind you of your mom, or
No, not really.
Okay.
anyways, listen, we got off on a tangent, but we got to wrap this up. We went so long, but it was all fun. Not as much wrestling as I thought, but I'm okay with that.
We need to come back.
Did we
and
even
do
talk
this.
about wrestling?
We did.
A little bit.
But so let me end it on this. Rebis, Hobo, respectively, what would you say in your time in wrestling? Rebis, we'll start with you. What was the highlight for you?
Oh,
What do you appreciate most about your time within wrestling?
Honestly, like my friendship with Hobo and like the people I've met that I'm still in touch with, like that was a highlight for me. I mean, as far as like professionally, like dude, I was like a mid-level jobber. Like there was no professional highlights.
Mid-level.
Yeah. I'm reaching for the stars here. Yeah. I mean, but like honestly, just the friendships I made along the way. I mean, I don't know. Putting Dave the Potato over in the AIW's Big Battle Royal that one time. Like,
I don't know if you should be proud of that. He's canceled now, but
he maybe can't. But like I mean, in retrospect, maybe not the best. But
no.
Remember you guys teamed together?
Oh yeah.
In AIW.
Well, I was
sexy.
Team Sexy and
Teams.
And look, I was put with him to babysit him, and we know that. I love but
my favorite memory from that is I think I had to fight you guys.
You got a cat fight.
Yeah, it was Haley Hatred.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what? The Haley Hatred, the whole run of the Haley Hatred feud. That's my high point.
Okay.
Because that was so much fun, and
you guys had
dude
really good heat.
Dude, we we would beat the shit out of each other.
Dude, that match you guys had was really good.
And
then Thorne stole your fucking angle.
You did,
right? Huh?
I wanted to do more. I wanted like an actual like blow off match, and like he just never got it. Like, and it happens. I mean, the company wanted to go one way, and it is what it is. And I don't know. I mean, that was that. I'm not happy about it, but it is what it was.
Yeah,
but I'm still bitch about it to this day.
Yeah, I do. Honest God, I do. I feel like at that point, I was finally starting to get really over with the crowd. Because, they legitimately fucking hated me. And I got to cut promos where I called people in the crowd cunts and stuff like that. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I called a single mother a herpes pot.
Oh, okay. That's ridiculous. Hobo, what about you?
For me, it's honestly, it's seeing people that I met or worked with that are very successful now. Like Johnny's the best example.
Yeah.
But it's not just him. Anyone that I came across or worked with or just touched paths with that I see on a big stage now, and knowing how hard they worked for it and what it means to them, that means more to me than what I accomplished in my career, which was very little. Just knowing where they started and seeing the level they're at now, it just makes it's pretty cool when I watch AEW or NXT and I'm like, I know a lot of these people, and I worked with them in like shit fucking shows where there's like 10 people in the crowd, and now they're on a big stage. Yeah, it's that I was part of that journey, just tangentially. Yeah. It feels pretty good, and it makes me. I like that I'm more than a fan. Like these people are. I don't wrestle anymore. I've wrestled in 10 years, but in a way they're my peers, and I was a part of this business, and it means I'm not a filthy fucking mark, and that no one has any respect for marks. And that if you're a mark, some carny's gonna take your fucking money, and you deserve it.
Oh boy, this is just.
Oh, did I just turn heel again? I just turned heel.
I was gonna say you really babyface yourself until the end here.
I just turned heel again. My apologies,
dude. I was way behind on that. What's he doing here? He's saying something. Oh no.
And sometimes we tell some inspiring stories on the podcast. I think we told some funny and inspiring stuff, and obviously we all overcame our terrible mothers, with the exception of Hobo. But last question for both of you guys. First, Rebis, what inspires you now post wrestling? What keeps you going, man?
Honestly, my wife, my kid, and I've got 2 kids I have to take care of. Like, because of that, like I got to keep moving forward. I can't give up anymore. I mean, there was a very long period there where I was going to give up, and since she came in my life, like everything is, what it needs to be for me, and she's given me the structure I need to be successful as a human being. And honestly, I wish I would have met her 15 years ago. Like,
it's awesome. Hobo,
I'm gonna give the same answer. Yeah, my wife, and I have a 16-year-old stepson, and it's my family. I like coming home at the end of a work day. I work a lot of hours, but I come home. There's a big dog greet me at the door. I got my wife. I got my son. I got 3 cats, and I feel like as long as I have that home life and I'm able to provide for them, it's all good. There's a lot of time in my life where I felt a lot of pressure to. I felt I had to leave a legacy behind when I left, and then I realized I don't like people, and I don't fucking care what they think.
Yeah.
You
So
like
as
me?
long as I'm I like some people, but for the most part. So as long as I have that happiness with my family, I feel that my life is good and that I can keep going.
Well, I think I speak for Aaron when I say that I have a large level of happiness just having you guys here today and being able to catch up for almost 3 hours.
Yeah,
Dude, we miss you. We
Right,
miss this.
I didn't get that.
Okay.
He was never happy to see me.
I'm
All that
real
weed
thrilled
we
with
smoked
this
was
one.
Nothing to you.
Real piece of garbage you are. Well, that's the end of the show. Hey, do you guys have social media if someone wanted to reach
Fuck
out to
no.
you?
I actually have a Twitter that I have 0 followers.
Yeah.
And I just post when I think of something funny.
Okay.
And I'm not going to tell you what that is because I don't want followers.
hold
And if
on,
you-
Hobo,
If you
Hobo.
figure it out and follow me, I'll block you.
Did you ever make peace with that Jack dude?
Jack Hanna?
Yeah.
Hold on. We should mention this. Jack Hanna once blocked me on Twitter. I understand that he is dying now of Alzheimer's.
No, I think he's gone. I think he's passed.
No, he's still alive.
Yeah.
He has
There's no
dementia.
way.
No, he's still alive.
He has dementia,
He'll
and
just
he's
never forget.
So,
Or remember.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I was a little hard on him, and I hope that he goes gently into that good night.
Hard on.
Oh my God, that's a whole other episode. We'll talk about that at some point. I forgot all about that.
That shit was amazing. that might be the highlight of your career right there, buddy.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing here.
Rebis, do you have social media if someone wanted to follow you?
I might have a TikTok. I do.
No, you don't. Shut the fuck up.
My nephew got me to make a TikTok. It's Warhog with 2 G's 1984, and I do book reviews.
What?
Yeah, I do reviews of books and movies. Okay. A lot of it's Sasquatch based.
All right, Jesus.
Wow.
I know it's a flip and a turn right there, but you know when your nephew wants to do silly dances, you do silly dances.
For
He's
sure.
a good kid. I like him a lot.
Okay. Well, that's it for us. If you want to follow Iron on Wrestling,
This guy's still alive.
Of course he is. No one lied to you. Jack Hanna is still
It
alive.
was like 3 weeks ago he announced he had old. Well, someone else announced for him.
He's 74
he forgot to go to
years
the
old.
press
I thought he
conference.
passed.
Shut up so I can wrap up the
Oh,
show.
that's still sad.
Follow us on social media at Iron on Wrestling on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Maybe we'll post some unique and rare photos and or videos from Hobo and Rebis's career on the social media that you can check out.
I got a
there
photo
this
of
week.
Rebis doing a step up in Seguri. No one believes me, but it happened.
Yeah, it's like when Hogan did one in Japan,
Yeah,
right?
right.
It blows your mind.
Except for I did to Sean Dahmer, I did not give a single fuck while I did it.
All right.
There was no safety nets.
You can follow me on social media at Gregory Iron on Twitter, at Gregory_Iron on Instagram. I'm on Facebook too. If you want to book me for pro wrestling, motivational speaking, and or pro wrestling seminars, contact me via DM on social media, or you can hit me up via email at Gregory_Iron at yahoo.com. I'm on Pro Wrestling Tees as well, prowrestlingtees.com/Gregory Iron, where you can get my shirts. You can get an Aaron shirt. There are a couple shirts from the show on there that you can purchase, and that is it for me. Aaron, what do you want to plug?
At Fair to Air, at Fair to Aaron. One of them is Twitter. One of them is the IG.
Okay, I guess they have to guess. And that is the end of the
wait,
show.
wait. I didn't get to tell my OnlyFans.
No one wants that. No one wants that.
Oh, I do.
Are you sure? Yeah, okay.
You can tell
looks like he's-
Rebis off air. Anyways,
Okay.
that's the end of the show, and until next week, bid you farewell. And what is Rebis doing right now?
I was opening up my
information.
TikTok to make sure that I give you the wrong idea.
Okay.
Yeah, Warhawk with 2G.
All right.
This
Okay.
is opening his TikTok.
Go follow Rebis on fucking TikTok. And that's it.
Wait, what's the name again?
Warhog 1984.
That's not good. I want it to be Rebis.
Uh,
Or Team Too Sexy.
Yeah, all right.
you know,
All right, we got to
I'll
go.
change it up for you.
We got to go. Next week. Bye. See you later. Kiss goodbye.
All of us?
All of us. All
At the
four.
same
Four
time?
kiss. Ready?
Even if you got straight hair, wavy hair, black hair, white hair, really long hair, blonde hair, pink hair, frizzy hair, short hair, even no hair. 'Cause we've all got pubes and they're curly too. I said we've all got pubes and they're curly too. Even if you got no money, lots of money, just the right amount of money, you've got pubes, yeah. No friends, lots of friends, friends you don't even like friends. You've got pubes, Give it a day or two, and they'll be back for you, those curly pubes. But it's not just you.